Li Mei's Sword of Destiny. Chapter 1034. They left. The countless people in the particle world inclined their heads and stared at the sky. The experts from the immortal realms had all left, vanishing from their particle world. However, they left behind an unforgettable memory for them. Naturally, this time around, the particle world also suffered an unbearable calamity. But for those who survived, they would eventually become even stronger, because they had personally witnessed that immortal war. Almost all stellar martial cultivators here had a seed of hope planted in their hearts, wanting to grow stronger. Immortal realms, immortals. Dongsheng Heaven Emperor, White Robe Immortal King, Emperor Qianbian, and also Qin Wentian. The names of these people would never be forgotten by them. Dongsheng Heaven Emperor was lofty and lofty. With a single thought, he changed the battlefield to a particle world, almost destroying it. This was what immortal emperors were like. They viewed the people of the world as ants. Luckily, this battle didn't last for too long. The Dongshengshan Gate was defeated and fled. Qin Wentian, I hope that one day, you will be able to kill the Dongsheng Heaven Emperor and avenge this blood debt. Countless people in this particle world had such a thought in their hearts. Regardless of Eastern Sage, Emperor Qianbian, or even the White Robe Immortal King, they all felt that the distance between them and Qin Wentian was too far. Only Qin Wentian was a legendary character that originated from their particle world. Right now, even in the immortal realms, he had a place of his own and was even protected by immortal emperor-ranked powers. In the past, they didn't even dare to imagine this. The sky was the same as before. The name Qin Wentian would become a legend in the history of this particle world. It would accompany them for many years to come. It was unknown if in the future, when they stepped on the immortal path, would they still have the chance to hear his name in the immortal realms? Cloud Prefecture, Immortal Qianbian Gate. Qin Wentian and the others had returned. In the Great Hall of the Immortal Qianbian Gate, the Emperor Qianbian was actually there. His immortal sense had already vanished. He stood up, and when he saw Bai Wuya and Qin Wentian entering, he spoke to Bai Wuya. Bai Wuya, you have worked hard this time around. Your Majesty, you're being too polite. Bai Wuya's expression was calm as he regained his carefree demeanor. He exuded a transcendent aura, completely unlike the Supreme Immortal King who killed the Deep Flame Immortal King in the particle world. If it wasn't for you this time, the Immortal Qianbian Gate would have suffered heavy losses and would have lost everything. This is not a lie. Emperor Qianbian politely spoke. Bai Wuya, work hard in your cultivation. If you become an immortal emperor, you would have a chance to become a peak stage immortal emperor in the immortal realms, surpassing me in Eastern Sage. The Emperor Qianbian could be considered a senior to Bai Wuya, but even so, he was so polite to Bai Wuya. From this, one could see that he was extremely respectful towards Bai Wuya. In addition, Bai Wuya truly had great potential. Qin Wentian quietly listened at the side. The relationship between the two of them was somewhat strange. The White Robe Immortal King Bai Wuya wasn't under the control of the Emperor Qianbian. He was a disciple of the Heavenly Talisman realm, and his relationship with the Emperor Qianbian should be similar. If the Emperor Qianbian wanted to gain control of the 6 prefectures, it was impossible for him to do so with his strength alone. He needed to borrow the strength of the Heavenly Talisman realm. Maybe there was some sort of cooperation between the Heavenly Talisman realm and the Emperor Qianbian. The Dongshengshan Gate has already been retreated. Most probably, they wouldn't attack the Immortal Qianbian Gate within a short period of time. Emperor Lord, Bai Wuya will bid his farewell here. Bai Wuya directly spoke. The Emperor Qianbian didn't try to persuade him. He nodded. Okay, you can leave now. Bai Wuya clasped his hands to the Emperor Qianbian. After that, he glanced at Qin Wentian before exiting the Great Hall. Everyone, in the future when you go out, you have to be more cautious. Also, the defenses of the prefectures have to be tightened. Our intelligence network should cover the 13 prefectures, and we have to be prepared for any sudden battles. The Emperor Qianbian spoke to the returning immortals. It has been tough on all of you. A month later, I will give a lecture on the Tao for 3 days. If any of you have any questions regarding cultivation, feel free to ask me. Many thanks to the Emperor Lord. Your subordinates will take their leave. The immortal kings bowed and left the Great Hall. Wentian, you stay behind. The Emperor Qianbian spoke to Qin Wentian. After that, only the Emperor Qianbian and Qin Wentian remained in the Great Hall, The person you asked me to investigate. When my immortal sense enveloped the particle world, I didn't discover her existence. If she is still alive, she should have already left the particle world. The Emperor Qianbian stared at Qin Wentian. Qin Wentian furrowed his brows. Seems like this little lass by Qing either died or she was no longer in the particle world. However, the Emperor Qianbian continued, I discovered that there's something strange about one of the locations. It should be the Devil's Statue Cliff you were talking about. What's strange about it? Qin Wentian's expression froze as he felt a little nervous in his heart. In the Devil's Statue Cliff, I seem to have discovered some extremely high-grade ancient sacrificial altars. Such altars are extremely rare even in the immortal realms. The Emperor Qianbian spoke, his words causing sharpness to flash through Qin Wentian's eyes. He then asked, what kind of ancient sacrificial altar is this? What use does it have? The traces have already been erased, it's not very clear. According to my deduction, there's a high possibility that it's an inheritance altar of a powerful clan. In the immortal realms, there are many ancient powers with extremely deep foundations. For example, the Namhuang clan of the south, the Baiming clan of the north, the myriad devil islands of the immortal realms. These powers all have mysterious abilities that can't be predicted using logic. But even so, we can't deny their existence. If the friend you are looking for really appeared in the Devil's Statue Cliff, I'm guessing that she might have had a miraculous encounter. The Emperor Qianbian's words caused Qin Wentian's heart to pound. Little lass by Qing, did she really have a miraculous encounter? Qin Wentian drew in a deep breath as he thought back to that innocent young girl in black. In Qin Wentian's heart, Bai Qing would forever be a young girl. He could only hope that little lass Bai Qing was fine. Next, it's time to talk about your matters. You've already seen the killing intent the Dongsheng Heaven Emperor has towards you. Most probably, he hates you to the bone. Do you have any thoughts on this? The Emperor Qianbian stared at Qin Wentian. Qin Wentian's eyes flashed with coldness. He naturally knew the hatred the Dongsheng Heaven Emperor had for him. Right now, the Dongshengshen Gate had already listed him in their kill list. Wasn't it the same for him as well? He really wanted the life of the Dongsheng Heaven Emperor, but given his current strength, it was basically impossible for him to contend against the Dongsheng Heaven Emperor. If he was targeted by the entire Dongshengshen Gate, it would be extremely hard for him to roam freely in the 13 prefectures. Senior, do you have any thoughts on this? Qin Wentian asked. You've already been to the city of ancient emperors, and know how vast the world is. There are many geniuses there, and I heard that your relationship with the daughter of the evergreen immortal emperor, Princess Qing isn't shallow. If you want to win over the daughter of the evergreen immortal emperor, the difficulty would be extremely high. The Emperor Qianbian laughed. I suggest you go out and temper yourself, venturing into the vast immortal realms and continuously raise your strength. As for the battle between the immortal Qianbian Gate and the Dongshengshen Gate, it's best that you don't interfere for now. Qin Wentian was silent for a moment before he nodded his head lightly. I will seriously consider the Emperor Lord's words. Good. You can go as well. If there's anything you need, feel free to look for me. The Emperor Lord spoke. Qin Wentian nodded and departed the Great Hall. After exiting the Great Hall, Qin Wentian's silhouette flickered as he found the members of the Battle Sword sect in the immortal Qianbian Gate. All the family and friends from the particle world gathered together. Everyone was extremely happy. Everything had ended. Although they were in a foreign place, this place was the immortal realms. Everything had a new beginning. Fatty Fan Lu was drunk. His eyes narrowed into slits as he stared at those beautiful serving girls. Ouyang Guangxing stared at those guards. They were all immortals, and he couldn't help but feel a sense of pride in his heart. Fairy Qingmei initially didn't want to leave this particle world, but now that she saw the delicacies and wine at the banquet, she faintly felt that it was time for her to live a new life for herself. Qin Chuan was very happy. He was drunk as well. When he saw Qin Wentian's current accomplishments in the immortal realms, he couldn't help but feel proud of this son of his. Yun Mengyi, Lin Xian, Bai Lui, and the others stared at Qin Wentian, who was sitting together with Mo Qingcheng. This place was the immortal realms. Qin Wentian smiled as he looked at everyone, accompanying them to drink to their heart's content. Today he had also drunk a lot. Chapter 1035. Several months later, Everyone settled down in the immortal Qinbian Gate. An emperor-ranked sect occupied an area as vast as a city, able to house 1,000,000 troops. Qin Wentian's family and friends all stayed in Qin Wentian's courtyard. But during these few months, there were also people who left to roam the immortal sections. Although they were moved by how powerful the immortal sects were, and how capable Qin Wentian was, they still wanted to grow stronger and experience the vastness of the immortal realms for themselves. Qin Wentian didn't stop them. This was the immortal realms. If they continued to rely on him to protect them in the immortal Qinbian Gate, although their lives would be much safer, it would be much less exciting. The immortal realms were boundlessly vast. Even for him, Qin Wentian, he had only reached a corner of it. The entire Eastern Sage 13 prefectures was merely a small region. Today, on Qin Wentian's cultivation platform, a treasured cauldron sat there. Qin Wentian held onto Emo Qingqing's hand. Is it really so dangerous? Emo Qingqing stared at Qin Wentian as she asked. This cauldron contains the sacred luminance, a legendary supreme treasure. When stellar martial cultivators bathe in the sacred luminance, they would be reborn anew. However, without a strong physique, there's basically no way for them to withstand the might of the sacred luminance. I have a friend who has extraordinary talent and a strong physique. But back then when he bathed in the sacred luminance, he relied on his incomparably firm will to endure it. Qingqing, you won't be able to endure it now. Hence, I'll let you cultivate in body refinement arts first. Qin Wentian spoke to Emo Qingqing. Okay, I'll listen to you. Emo Qingqing nodded lightly. Qin Wentian caressed Emo Qingqing's face. Little rascal inclined its head in satisfaction. This little fellow in purgatory had both experienced the baptism of the sacred luminance before. Let's go out, Qin Wentian said in a low voice. With a wave of his hand, he kept the cauldron. Both the cauldron and the sacred luminance were supreme treasures. In the future, when he became stronger, he could use the sacred luminance to create a batch of top-notch characters. Now is not the time yet. His own strength was still a little weak, and it would be a good thing if the sacred luminance was exposed. Qin Wentian returned to the courtyard where Luo Huan and Qin Yao were waiting for him. Upon seeing Qin Wentian walking over, Luo Huan giggled. What a pair of lovers sticking together every day. Elder sister and senior sister have been abandoned. Sister Luo Huan, stop teasing him. Qin Yao smiled. Wentian, the teachers you found for us are really not bad. I've improved a lot during these few days, and with the help of the immortal sex cultivation resources, I feel as though I've been reborn. Father and uncle have also improved at godly speeds. Elder sister, that's an immortal king expert we are talking about. I've thickened my skin to seek guidance from him. As for the cultivation resources, I don't really care about it. Your cultivation bases are still weak. It's very easy to remodel them. Qin Wentian smiled. After all, the talent of Qin Yao and the others could be considered ordinary. It was extremely easy to use the immortal realm's cultivation resources to remodel them. But precisely because they were weak, there was a lot of room for improvement. But if they wanted to raise their cultivation bases to a very high level in a short period of time, it was impossible. I know you are awesome. Qin Yao smiled. During these few days you have been secretly helping Qingqing with her homework. Did you give her special treatment? Elder sister, don't wrongly accuse me. I'm definitely not biased. Qingqing's current cultivation base is slightly higher than you guys, and her cultivation method is different from yours. But whatever Qingqing has, I will give it to you guys sooner or later. Qin Wentian shrugged. I know you are good. Qin Yao smiled. She and Luo Huan were naturally just joking around with Qin Wentian. Are you used to this place? Qin Wentian asked. Not bad, the environment here is much better. It's just that I still feel like going out for a walk occasionally. Qin Yao replied. The immortal Qinbian Gate is currently planning to transform this cloud prefecture city into an impregnable fortress. No one would be able to invade it. When the time is right, we can go out for a walk whenever we want. Qin Wentian smiled. Just this cloud prefecture city alone was larger than the entire particle world. Given the cultivation bases of Qin Yao and Luo Huan, they wouldn't be able to leave even if they wanted to. Qin Wentian also knew that in the immortal realms, the capital cities of many peak powers had absolute authority. Once external powers entered, they would be notified. The vast majority of the capital cities were the subordinates of these peak powers. They were truly gigantic existences. It was just that right now, the foundation of the immortal Champion Gate was still far from enough. The Cloud Prefecture city was extremely complicated. The immortal Champion Gate still had no way to gain absolute control. This would require a very long period of time. Senior brother. At this moment, a clear voice drifted over from outside. An expression of joy flashed on Qin Wentian's face when he heard this voice as a smile flickered on his face. Mengchen, come over here. Qin Wentian spoke. Very swiftly, a delicate and handsome silhouette appeared before Qin Wentian in the blink of an eye. You've exited seclusion, not bad. Qin Wentian smiled as he stared at Jun Mengchen. His aura had changed as well, exuding an extraordinary aura. Senior brother, you exited earlier than me. Jun Mengchen scratched his head and smiled. Qin Wentian wasn't surprised. Jun Mengchen's talent was outstanding, and back then, he had shocked the entire Dongshengshan Gate. Back then, both of them experienced the baptism of the sacred luminance, and their cultivation basis had already reached the peak of celestial phenomenon. But the process of establishing an immortal foundation was much more complicated because of the uniqueness of his immortal foundation. There's no difference even if I exited earlier. Qin Wentian laughed. I heard senior brother return to your hometown particle world. Are these all sisters-in-law? Jun Mengchen laughed. The three before him were all great beauties, especially Imo Qingcheng. Her aura was like that of a celestial maiden, and was extremely compatible with his senior brother. She actually didn't lose out to Princess Qing at all. Senior brother Qin was truly awesome. Stop talking nonsense. Qin Wentian glared at Jun Mengchen. This is your sister-in-law Imo Qingcheng. This is my senior sister Luo Huan and my elder sister Qin Yao. This fellow is my junior brother Jun Mengchen. Hello sister-in-law, hello sister Luo Huan, hello sister Qin Yao. Jun Mengchen politely greeted them one by one. Although he had already entered the immortal path, he was still like a big boy. Little brother, be good. Luo Huan walked to the side of Jun Mengchen and gently rubbed Jun Mengchen's head. Jun Mengchen instantly had a face filled with black lines. Sister Luo Huan, this... Jun Mengchen felt like he was about to collapse. Was she teasing a little kid? Why? I also treat Wentian the same way. You are his junior brother, there's no difference. Luo Huan giggled. Jun Mengchen stared pleadingly at Qin Wentian. Qin Wentian smiled back at him, pretending that he didn't see anything. Senior brother Qin, before I came here, the Emperor Lord asked me to pass a message to him. He wants us to make a trip to his place. Jun Mengchen hurriedly spoke. Emperor Lord? Qin Wentian's eyes flashed. Jun Mengchen nodded his head. Okay, we will head over now. Qin Wentian spoke. Luo Huan also didn't make things difficult for Jun Mengchen, and allowed the two of them to leave. Qin Wentian and Jun Mengchen arrived at the palace where the Emperor Lord Qianbian resided. However, the Emperor Lord Qianbian wasn't there. Instead, an immortal king character from the immortal Champion Gate, the Taishan Immortal King, was there. The Taishan Immortal King had a very close relationship with the Emperor Lord Qianbian. He would often accompany the Emperor Lord Qianbian for many years. Senior, Qin Wentian called out. Wentian, there's a guest who sent over an invitation card for you. The Taishan Immortal King spoke. After that, he waved his hand as an invitation card floated in the air towards Qin Wentian. Qin Wentian stretched out his hand and received it. After glancing at it, he smiled. Nam Huang Yunxi has also succeeded in establishing her immortal foundation and stepped into the immortal foundation realm. Nanfeng was ranked number 3 on the immortal ascension rankings a long time ago. It's very normal for her to break through to immortal foundation. Jun Mengchen continued. This invitation card was sent over by Nam Huang Yunxi. Nam Huang Yunxi has broken through to immortal foundation, and the Nam Huang clan wants to hold an immortal banquet for her. However, why would they spend so much effort to send this invitation card over from thousands of miles away? The immortal Champion Gate is inviting me over. Qin Wentian felt somewhat puzzled. He turned his gaze to the Taishan Immortal King. Won't you know when you go? The Taishan Immortal King smiled. That's right. Maybe Nam Huang Yunxi has taken a liking to you. and wants to use this opportunity to introduce you to the people of the Namhuang clan. Jun Mingchen joked. Qin Wentian rolled his eyes. He felt that there was no need for Namhuang Yunxi to do such a thing. Maybe there were other reasons. Senior, do you also feel that I should go? Qin Wentian asked the Taishan Immortal King. Namhuang Yunxi is a descendant of the Southern Phoenix matriarch, one of the candidates to become the next leader of the Namhuang clan. She should have many competitors as well. More importantly, the Southern Phoenix Immortal City where the Namhuang clan is located is a city completely controlled by the Namhuang clan. The rules are set by the Namhuang clan and it's extremely safe. As long as immortal kings enter the city, they would immediately be targeted. You can go there to experience the majesty of the true immortal realms. The Taishan Immortal King smiled. Okay, in that case, I will go with Mengchen to experience the majesty of the Southern Phoenix Immortal City. Qin Wentian nodded. He just so happened to want to go out and temper himself. Since the Taishan Immortal King agreed, it should be a good choice. You guys go and make your preparations. The Immortal Qianbian Gate has already constructed a teleportation array that leads directly to the Southern Phoenix Immortal City. The Taishan Immortal King spoke. Qin Wentian and Jun Mengchen returned together. After that, Qin Wentian instructed some matters before bidding farewell to Imo Qingqing and the others. Chapter 1036. In the southern regions of the Immortal Realms, the Namhuang clan was an extremely ancient power that had existed for countless years. The Namhuang clan had the noble bloodline of the Phoenix. Only females could become the supreme leader of the Namhuang clan, the Southern Phoenix matriarch. The foundations of the Namhuang clan far surpassed the foundations of the Dongsheng Heaven Emperor and the Thousand Transformations Immortal Emperor. They were one of the ancient sacred grounds of the Immortal Realms and had an extremely strong influence in the vast southern regions. Although they didn't directly govern the southern regions, the power of the Namhuang clan could cover the entire southern regions. Every action of the Namhuang clan could cause the entire region to tremble. The Southern Phoenix Immortal City was where the Namhuang clan was located. This place was directly governed by the Namhuang clan and could be said to be the headquarters of the Namhuang clan. With regards to the Southern Phoenix Immortal City, the Namhuang clan had absolute control over it. The Namhuang clan's businesses could be found all over the city, and the army of the Namhuang clan was in charge of the rules of the city. This immortal city was one of the safest cities in the entire Immortal Realms. The teleportation arrays in the Southern Phoenix Immortal City were heavily guarded. More and more teleportation arrays flashed with dazzling spatial lights as people appeared. There were only two types of people who could use the teleportation arrays. The first type was those with extraordinary statuses and could use the teleportation arrays of the major powers. The second type was the wealthy and powerful wuxiu who paid a huge price to use the teleportation arrays of the major powers. At this moment, another teleportation array lit up. The spatial fluctuations were extremely intense, causing many guards to turn their attention over. The strength of spatial energy represented the distance between the teleportation arrays. From the looks of it, this teleportation array should be from an extremely faraway place. A bright light flashed as two handsome young men appeared. They glanced at their surroundings before stepping out. "Where are the two of you from?" A guard walked up to check. Qin Wentian waved his hand as the invitation card floated towards the guard. The guard glanced at the insignia on the card as his eyes flashed. After that, he bowed. "Young Lord Qin, please enter the city. I heard that the Southern Phoenix Immortal City has some rules. Can you tell me about them?" Qin Wentian asked. There are indeed some rules. In the Southern Phoenix Immortal City, no one is allowed to kill the innocent, bully the weak, rob or steal. The Southern Phoenix Army will not interfere in small conflicts, but if it involves heavily injuring an opponent or destroying the wealth of the innocent, these are not allowed. Killing is also prohibited. Unless both parties are willing to step onto the Southern Phoenix arena, only then can they engage in a life and death battle. The guard explained there are no other rules. Since young Master Qin is the Saintess's girlfriend, you can ask the Saintess for help if you encounter any trouble. All right, thank you. Qin Wentian smiled and nodded. After that, he and Jun Mengchen entered the Southern Phoenix Immortal City together. This immortal city was ancient and majestic. The density of the buildings was moderate, and all sorts of industries were flourishing. Experts were as common as the clouds, and with a single glance, immortal Foundation characters could be seen everywhere. They are Saint's girlfriends? Which saint is it? What's the identity of this person? The other guards curiously asked after Qin Wentian left. Holy Maiden Yun Shi. She invited him to participate in the immortal banquet. Seems like their relationship is very good. As for his name, I've never heard of it before. His name is Qin Wentian. There doesn't seem to be any great emperors in the immortal realms with the surname Qin. The guard replied in a low voice. It's actually Holy Maiden Yun Shi. This fellow's luck with women isn't bad. Holy Maiden Yun Shi not only has outstanding talent, she's also a supreme beauty. The guard at the side smiled. All of you shut up. Someone at the side cursed in a low voice. Yes, Captain. The guards all smiled, but they didn't continue speaking. Qin Wentian and Jun Mingchen walked through the southern Phoenix immortal city. As they stared at the ancient-looking buildings and palaces, they faintly understood why the rules of the southern Phoenix immortal city were so strict. The industries in the southern Phoenix immortal city are truly developed. With a single glance, I can see that immortal-ranked weapons and immortal-ranked cultivation arts are all over the place. How many treasures would there be in this city? Most probably, as long as you have enough wealth, you wouldn't need to worry about lacking treasures. Jun Mingchen sighed. This has always been relative. For stellar martial cultivators, it's easier for them to obtain wealth and treasures. For weaker stellar martial cultivators, they can only depend on others or take risks. The reason why the southern Phoenix immortal city is so prosperous is naturally because of the strict rules. For stellar martial cultivators who enter here, there's no need to worry about their safety. Qin Wentian understood the law of the jungle in the immortal realms. If you were weak, even if you had treasures on you, you wouldn't dare to take them out to trade. The southern Phoenix immortal city would naturally provide you with protection, as expected of an ancient and powerful clan. For those with powerful backgrounds in the immortal realms, they would definitely be willing to stay in such an immortal city. They would be able to ensure the safety of their family members, and they can roam the world with peace of mind. Jun Mingchen spoke. You are right. But given how many people there are in the immortal realms, who wouldn't want to stay in such an immortal city? I'm afraid it wouldn't be so simple if one wanted to own a piece of land in the southern Phoenix immortal city. Didn't you hear what the guard said? The buildings here are not allowed to be destroyed. All of them are considered private property. Qin Wentian laughed. The Namhuang clan built the southern Phoenix immortal city to such a flourishing state. The value of this city is something that you and I can't imagine. What's that? Jun Mingchen pointed ahead. There, the shadow of a phoenix could be seen shining resplendently in the air. Let's go take a look. Their silhouettes flickered as they headed towards the source of the light. Not long after, they arrived there and saw the projection of the phoenix enveloping the entire space. Two silhouettes were currently engaged in a fierce battle. Phoenix Arena. Qin Wentian and Jun Mingchen spoke at the same time. They instantly understood that this was the Phoenix Arena that the guard spoke of. Only when both parties were willing to step onto the Phoenix Arena would they be able to engage in a life-and-death battle. There must be some wuxiu who had deep grievances between them, and they needed a place to vent their anger. Let's go. After a few moments, the victor of the battle between the two was decided. One was killed and the two of them stepped onto the Phoenix Arena. Both of them had deep grudges against each other. How could they show mercy? Qin Wentian and Jun Mingchen checked the direction and used immortal-ranked weapons to speed towards the direction of the Namhuang clan. However, they still took a long time before they arrived at the outer perimeter of the Namhuang clan. From afar, there was an incomparably majestic ancient phoenix that was extremely vivid and lifelike. It seemed as though it wanted to soar into the sky with the wind. This ancient phoenix was incomparably gigantic, towering over the heavens and earth. It was the exterior of the entire Namhuang clan, exuding a tyrannical aura. Senior Marshal Brother, should we go in and look for Namhuang Yunqi now? Jun Mingchen asked. There's no rush, it's fine as long as we find the place. 2 days later is the day of Namhuang Yunqi's immortal banquet. We'll go look for Namhuang Yunqi 2 days later, and directly attend the banquet. If we go in now, should we let Namhuang Yunqi accompany us to stroll around the immortal city? Qin Wentian smiled and shook his head. Jun Mengchen smiled and said foolishly, "Such a big beauty, only senior martial brother can remain unmoved. But that's understandable, both sisters-in-law are beauties that can cause the downfall of cities and empires. They are not inferior to Nam Huang Yunqi at all." "Why? Do you have feelings for Nam Huang Yunqi?" Qin Wentian smiled and said, "Don't say that I don't have any feelings for her. Even if I do, Nam Huang Yunqi has no interest in me. After all, only your name is on the invitation card." Jun Mengchen spoke. "Oh yeah, senior martial brother. You asked little rascal to stay behind to accompany sisters-in-law. Where's Purgatory? Why don't I see her? Purgatory and I are originally one. If you want to see her, I'll let you take a look." Qin Wentian laughed. His bloodline surged as a blood-colored light flashed as the silhouette of Purgatory appeared, transforming into a devilish beauty. "Purgatory is actually a female and she's so beautiful. Senior, I'm impressed." Jun Mengchen laughed, feeling somewhat jealous of this senior martial brother of his. Beauties were as common as the clouds around him. At this moment, whistling sounds rang out as 4 silhouettes flew over. The person in the lead was a young man with eyes as deep as the abyss. His gaze landed on Purgatory as a dazzling light flickered in his eyes. "Fairy, are you a vermilion bird?" the young man asked. Purgatory frowned as a cold intent radiated from her. "What's the matter?" Qin Wentian faintly asked. "Sir, what's your relationship with her?" The young man glanced at Qin Wentian as he asked. "My companion." Qin Wentian replied. "A companion demonic beast? You should have subdued it, right?" That young man laughed. In the immortal realms, there were some people with extraordinary luck who managed to subdue powerful demonic beasts when they were still young. Such situations were very common. "He's my master, but what does that have to do with you?" Purgatory stared at the young man as she asked. As expected of a Purgatory vermilion bird. What a fiery temper and such a beauty. The young man laughed. "Sir, your luck is truly good. Can you trade this demonic beast with me? What price do you want?" "No need, please do as you please." Qin Wentian frowned, his tone filled with unhappiness. How could he use Purgatory to trade with others? "This demonic beast is extremely useful to me. Brother, why don't you name a higher price?" The young man continued, his eyes blazing with heat. Such a beautiful Purgatory vermilion bird was extremely rare. If he could tame it, it would be a wondrous thing. "You don't understand human speech?" Jun Mengchen impolitely spoke. This person made him loathe Purgatory vermilion bird. But at this moment, one of the people behind the young man stepped out as a powerful aura enveloped Qin Wentian and the others. This person was none other than an extremely powerful expert. "Are you all preparing to trample on the rules of the Southern Phoenix Immortal City?" Qin Wentian laughed. "Rules are dead, humans are alive. Let me give you a word of advice, be tactful. This young master is a guest of the Nam Huang clan. Even if we don't act now, it wouldn't be difficult for us to act against you in the future." Another person beside the young man had a cold expression on his face as he threatened. Chapter 1037. The young man waved his hand, stopping his subordinate as he berated. "Shut up. The Nam Huang clan has its own rules and standards. How can we violate them? This is the foundation of the Nam Huang clan's rule over the Southern Phoenix Immortal City." "Yes." That subordinate bowed and no longer spoke. The young man then smiled at Qin Wentian. "I am Rong Xiao of the Rong clan. I truly like this Purgatory vermilion bird. Since she called you her master, we can naturally exchange for her. Brother, why don't you give me some face? I won't let you suffer a loss and we can all be friends in the future." Although this young man was polite, Qin Wentian and Jun Mengchen felt awkward no matter how they listened. Was he trying to show his extraordinary status by introducing himself? "So it's Rong Xiao of the Rong clan." Qin Wentian was enlightened. The young man smiled and inclined his head. "Sorry, I've never heard of you before." Qin Wentian continued, causing Rong Xiao's smile to stiffen. Qin Wentian, was he joking with him? "Also, my senior brother is also a guest of the Nam Huang clan. Don't think too highly of yourself. Scram now." Jun Mengchen's temper was still as irritable as ever. He couldn't stand the pretentiousness of this young man as he coldly spoke. Qin Wentian silently agreed to his words. He merely smiled coldly at the young man before him and couldn't be bothered to reply. Using purgatory for a transaction, even if it was just a discussion, was an insult to purgatory. The young man frowned as he glanced at Qin Wentian. His temper was actually very good. He didn't get angry even after being scolded to scram. So Brother Qin was also invited here. Rong have been rude. In that case, farewell. Rong Xiao indifferently spoke. After that, he turned around and left with his men. How arrogant! Jun Mingchen unhappily spoke. Qin Wentian turned his gaze onto Purgatory, only to see her expression turning cold. He walked over and patted Purgatory's shoulder. Purgatory, in the future, just call me Big Brother Qin. Don't call me Master anymore. If you don't listen, I won't let you follow me anymore. Purgatory looked at Qin Wentian with an aggrieved expression. Her seductive eyes were exceptionally alluring, causing Qin Wentian to feel a little reluctant to be so strict. However, since this lass refused to listen to his advice, he could only use force. Yes, Master. Purgatory said pitifully. Why are you still shouting? Qin Wentian said with a straight face. Purgatory raised her head, curling her lips as she called out, Big Brother Qin. That's a good boy. Qin Wentian's expression softened as he rubbed Purgatory's head. This caused Purgatory to giggle foolishly at him, exuding hints of mischievousness. She naturally understood that Qin Wentian was doing this for her sake. Let's go and have a good stroll around the southern Phoenix Immortal City. Qin Wentian turned and the three of them left together. Not long after, on the ancient streets of the southern Phoenix Immortal City, three young men with extraordinary auras could be seen. The males were handsome while the females were beautiful, attracting the attention of many. Senior brother, the southern Phoenix Immortal City is truly flourishing. Earlier, that ancient palace actually had an immortal king-level innate technique. How terrifying! Jun Mingchen sighed as he walked through the crowd. You have to think about it. To be able to open an ancient palace of such scale in the southern Phoenix Immortal City, how illustrious must the identity of the owner be? He must also be a powerful immortal king character. For us immortals, every time we break through to the next level, we would need a vast amount of resources. If immortal kings want to grow stronger, they would need all sorts of heavenly ingredients and earthly treasures. That's true. Senior brother, look over there are so many beautiful women. It seems to be an immortal weapon ancient palace. Jun Mingchen pointed ahead. Qin Wentian and the two others walked over and glanced inside. Purgatory's beautiful eyes flashed with a bright light as she exclaimed, How beautiful! Qin Wentian glanced over and was similarly shocked. This was an ancient palace where divine weapons were traded. Not only were these divine weapons extremely powerful, they wouldn't be damaged even if stellar martial cultivators changed their sizes. Some of them could even fuse into their flesh and blood. Since they were divine weapons, they naturally had powerful defensive capabilities, and also suited the pursuit of beauty by females. Hence, many immortal maidens favored them. How luxurious! Jun Mingchen sighed. Such an ancient palace was truly at its peak in the southern Phoenix Immortal City. Do you like it? Qin Wentian smiled as he stared at Purgatory. Purgatory was a little embarrassed as she glanced at Qin Wentian. However, Qin Wentian was extremely happy. Purgatory was becoming more and more human-like. This was a good thing. It indicated that her spiritual body had completely transformed. In that case, let's go and pick one. Qin Wentian smiled. Without waiting for Purgatory to reply, he directly walked in. Not long after, the three of them walked out. A beautiful fiery red robe was draped over Purgatory's body. The threads of the robe seemed to be woven from the feathers of phoenixes, outlining Purgatory's figure to perfection. The robe was incomparably elegant, exuding both sexiness and nobility. Big Brother Qin, it's so expensive. A single robe is equivalent to 10 immortal ranked weapons. Although Purgatory liked it, she still felt some heartache. Isn't it easy to get immortal ranked weapons? We can just forge many in the Drifts Now ancient city. It's good that you like it. I haven't given you any gifts yet. Just treat this as a gift. Qin Wentian smiled. As for the other two, one is for Princess Qing, and the other is for sister-in-law Qingcheng. Jun Mingchen, who was at the side, giggled. His senior brother Qin was truly awesome. No wonder so many beauties liked him. You are the smart one. Qin Wentian glared at Jun Mingchen. All right, we've strolled around enough. Tomorrow is the appointed date. Let's return to the inn first. AI, every inch of land in this southern Phoenix immortal city is worth its weight in gold. Even the inns here are so expensive that the poor can't even survive. They can only sleep on the streets every day. This is the rule of the immortal realms. Only the strong are qualified to enjoy the best treatment and resources. Settling down in southern Phoenix immortal city, the Namhuang clan will protect the safety of the entire city. That's true. Jun Mingchen nodded. After they returned to the inn, they sat in the open-air restaurant of the inn, sipping on tea as they stared at the crowd below. During these days, the number of people coming and going in this area had clearly increased. Clearly, there were many people who wanted to watch a good show and wanted to inquire about the news of the immortal banquet tomorrow. Naturally, there were also people who were invited here. At this moment, a group of figures descended from the open-air restaurant. Upon seeing this group of people, the eyes of many gleamed with sharpness. It's people from the Shen clan. Shen Yi is a heaven's chosen, and it's said that he received an invitation from the Namhuang clan. Could it be him? Someone glanced at a white-robed young master among this group of people. He held a folding fan in his hands and was extraordinarily handsome. He directly sat down as his subordinates immediately went to order food and wine. Shen Yi's gaze was focused on the surrounding scenery. When his gaze landed on Purgatory, he paused for a moment before nodding to her with a smile before shifting his gaze away, exuding a graceful demeanor. Beauties are truly attractive. That beauty exudes an extraordinary aura, and should have an extraordinary background. The young man beside her also exudes an extraordinary aura. Someone noticed this scene and spoke in a low voice, but no matter how extraordinary he is, can he be compared to Shen Yi? He's the young master of the Shen clan and has terrifying talent. He was once ranked within the top 3 of the Immortal Ascension rankings in the City of Ancient Emperors. That's true. If Shen Yi pursues this woman, he would surely regret the fact that it was so easy for him to woo her. Everyone discussed in a low voice. Qin Wentian didn't mind. He stared at the unhappy Purgatory and smiled. Beauties will always be the center of attention no matter where they go. Purgatory, you should be happy instead. This only means that your charm is greater than mine. Not interested. Purgatory coldly replied. The people of the southern Phoenix Immortal City were all extremely bold in their conversations. Because of safety, they dared to casually discuss some things. Brother Shen, why are you drinking alone here? At this moment, a voice drifted over. A few more figures descended from the air. The person who spoke was clad in golden robes that shone with a resplendent light. People from the Gold clan. Everyone stared at the experts descending from the air. They were clad in resplendent golden armor, and were incomparably dazzling. No matter where they went, they would be the most dazzling existences. This was the symbol of the Gold clan. The people of the Gold clan established an immortal empire and are incomparably powerful. Seems like there are princes of immortal empires invited here to participate in the immortal banquet, hosted by the Namhuang clan. There are so many geniuses here. The Namhuang clan is going to be lively. Seems like there are quite a few disciples from immortal emperor-ranked powers in the southern regions of the immortal realms who were invited here. I wonder which holy maiden of the Namhuang clan would be the victor this time around. Everyone discussed. Jun Mingchen stared at Qin Wentian and asked in a low voice, "Is it really like what the rumors say?" "Maybe. We will know tomorrow. Let's return." Qin Wentian faintly spoke. Purgatory immediately stood up and followed after him. Jun Mingchen initially wanted to take a look, but when he saw that Qin Wentian wasn't interested, he decided to leave together with them. On the second morning, the 3 of them left the inn and sped towards the Namhuang clan. On the way there, they encountered many terrifying experts. Just like what the rumors said, there were many experts from the major powers of the southern region here. Chapter 1038. Jun Mingchen and Qin Wentian inclined their heads and stared at the air only to see Jun Mingchen laughing. It feels like we are in the city of ancient emperors again. Those who came here should all be from major powers, right? That must be the case. Qin Wentian nodded lightly. In the air, 8 powerful white tigers could be seen pulling a chariot through the air. exuding a fearsome baleful aura. There was also an expert sitting on a young Pishio, exuding an aura of magnificence. There was also another expert sitting on a golden war chariot, being pulled towards the ancient palace of the Namhuang clan. What a grand lineup! Jun Mengchen spoke in a low voice. If senior brother knew this earlier, we would have been more imposing. Our aura is truly weak now. Qin Wentian casually smiled. The immortal realms were boundlessly vast, and the southern domain was also extremely vast. There were many immortal emperors here, and among them, the Namhuang clan was one of the strongest. Hence, the aura of these experts from the other powers naturally wouldn't be weak. Among immortal emperors there were also differences in strength. The Southern Phoenix Matriarch was a powerful immortal emperor with a deeper foundation. Naturally, the Southern Phoenix clan had countless years of foundation, and naturally had more than one immortal emperor. This was the strength of an ancient clan. Leaving aside the Namhuang clan, Emperor Qianbian had said before that there were other immortal emperors under the Dongsheng Heaven Emperor. And in the Evergreen Kingdom, the Green and White Emperors were the leaders. Qin Wentian also knew of many descendants of immortal emperors in the City of Ancient Emperors. For example, Xianyang and Xianxing's father, the Xian Emperor, and Xiao Lingyue's father, the Xiao Emperor. There were also many geniuses in the City of Ancient Emperors who were descendants of immortal emperors. These immortal emperors didn't have the foundation of the Namhuang clan. Some of them established their own sects and sects, while some of them stayed alone in their own areas. Therefore, Qin Wentian stood outside the Namhuang clan and saw many shocking scenes. He knew that many of these people were heavens chosen from immortal emperor-level forces, and some were even descendants of immortal emperors. That day he met two people in the inn. One was Shun Yi from the Shun clan. It was rumored that the Shun clan had an immortal emperor, and they were currently residing in the Southern Phoenix Immortal City. Their relationship with the Namhuang clan had always been pretty good. The other person was clad in golden robes. He seemed to be a prince of an immortal empire. This time around, those invited to the banquet are all Immortal Foundation experts. Qin Wentian glanced at the cultivation bases of the experts in the air. Excluding those guards, the young men in the lead were all at the Immortal Foundation realm. The weakest among them was at the first level of Immortal Foundation, while the strongest among them was at the fourth level. This was already a mid-stage Immortal Foundation character, and they all seemed more mature than the rest. Qin Wentian glanced at them. The experts in the void stared at each other, their eyes shining with sharpness, vaguely showing signs of fighting. Big brother Qin, why don't I revert to my original form and bring you in? Purgatory spoke in a low voice. When she saw the auras of the experts in the surroundings, she faintly felt that Qin Wentian's aura was too weak in front of them. She wanted to help Qin Wentian regain some face. With the Purgatory Vermilion bird as her mount, she wouldn't be inferior to anyone else. No need. Qin Wentian smiled and shook his head. This lass would always think of him no matter what. She didn't feel that she would feel wronged at all. They had already arrived at the entrance of the Namhuang clan. The experts all landed on the ground and reported their clan names. The guards immediately allowed them in. When Qin Wentian walked over, a guard blocked his path. Qin Wentian waved his hand and an invitation card appeared. The guard glanced at it and similarly allowed Qin Wentian to enter. Within the Namhuang clan, there were many beautiful maids standing to the left and right. These maids all exuded extraordinary auras, and when they saw the three of them entering, they immediately stepped forward to lead the way. When Qin Wentian's group of three entered, one of the maids immediately stepped forward and smiled gently. Young master, young miss, please follow me. Many thanks. Qin Wentian smiled and nodded. He followed the ancient path and entered the Southern Phoenix clan. Young master, what is your surname? The maid smiled at Qin Wentian as she asked. Qin. Young master Qin's demeanor is extraordinary. I wonder which holy maiden invited you here? The maid smiled as she casually chatted with Qin Wentian. Her voice was clear and melodious, causing those who heard it to feel comfortable. Namhuang Yunxi. Qin Wentian smiled as he replied. The maid was clearly startled. Her beautiful eyes surveyed Qin Wentian as she smiled. Young master Qin is truly extraordinary. Why? Is it strange for Namhuang Yunxi to invite me? Qin Wentian asked in surprise. Holy Maiden Yunxi is highly regarded in our Namhuang clan. Furthermore, this immortal banquet is also held for her. She can be considered the main character of this immortal banquet. Everyone wants to know who Holy Maiden Yunxi will invite. Who would have thought that this servant would be so lucky to meet young Master Qin first? The maid laughed softly, her tone was pleasant to the ears. In that case, you're going to be noticed again. This isn't a good thing. Qin Wentian shrugged his shoulders. Young Master Qin is truly humorous. Many people want to be invited by Holy Maiden Yunxi, but they don't even have the chance. The maid pretended to roll her eyes at Qin Wentian. Because of her beauty, even though she was a maid, no one would feel offended. Qin Wentian silently praised her. Even the maids of the Namhuang clan were so powerful. Are there a lot of holy maidens in the Namhuang clan? Qin Wentian curiously asked. Not many. Every 100 years, the Namhuang clan would select 36 outstanding individuals to become the holy maidens of the Namhuang clan. Within 100 years, if these holy maidens fail to step onto the immortal path, their qualifications as holy maidens would be stripped away. The maid didn't hide anything from Qin Wentian. She continued, also after 100 years, the holy maidens would have to undergo a test. One of them would be chosen to become the core of this batch of holy maidens. The other holy maidens would act as Tao protectors, and this holy maiden would be known as the holy successor. The other holy maidens would be known as the Tao protector holy maidens. The holy successor is a candidate to become the future Southern Phoenix matriarch. Understood. Qin Wentian nodded. For a clan like this that had existed for countless years, they naturally had their own set of rules. Only the most outstanding person would be able to become the holy successor. Also, the holy successor would have to compete against the other holy maidens. There was only one Southern Phoenix matriarch. But in the Namhuang clan, once one became the holy successor, their status would instantly rise to another level. Their status would be extremely lofty, and they could even command many immortal kings of the Namhuang clan. This was a matter of honor and glory. The popularity of Holy Maiden Yunxi is very high. The maid smiled at Qin Wentian. She cast a deep glance at Qin Wentian, as though wanting to see how extraordinary Qin Wentian was exactly. Since Namhuang Yunxi invited him here, it was clear that she regarded him very highly. Qin Wentian smiled but didn't say anything. As they spoke, they already arrived at a spacious area. There were many serving maids here, preparing for the immortal banquet. Many geniuses stood in different directions and chatted. These people who were invited here were all extraordinary. The majority of them were elites from the southern region of the immortal realms. Qin Wentian also saw a few familiar figures. Rong Xiao, the young man who asked him for purgatory, Shen Yi and the golden-robed young man. He met them before in the inn. Shen Yi also saw Qin Wentian and the others. His gaze landed on purgatory as he walked over and smiled at Qin Wentian. So the three of you are also here to attend the banquet of the Namhuang clan. My name is Shen Yi of the Sheng clan. I wonder how I should address you all? Qin Wentian, my junior brother Junmengchen, my younger sister Purgatory. Qin Wentian spoke. Isn't she your servant? Why did she become your younger sister? A light laughter rang out. Rong Xiao also saw Qin Wentian and the others, and he walked over. The last time we met, I heard Purgatory referring to you as her master. Does Brother Shen know them as well? Rong Xiao asked. I met them once before. Shen Yi nodded lightly. So this is the case. Does Brother Shen know that this maiden is a demonic beast? Her true form is a purgatory vermilion bird. Rong Xiao stared at Purgatory as he spoke. After that, he turned to Qin Wentian. My words before still stand. If you are willing to trade, you can state your price. Is that so? I'm afraid I can't afford it. Qin Wentian calmly spoke. He just a mere demonic beast. Even if it's a saint beast, how could I not be able to afford it? Rong Xiao calmly spoke. Sure, I'll use you to trade for it. In the future, you will be my servant, and I will order you around. Qin Wentian calmly spoke. A moment later, Rong Xiao's smile froze as his gaze turned sharp. The two of them stared at each other. You want to use a demonic beast as a servant to trade for me? Are you trying to humiliate me? Rong Xiao coldly spoke. You are the one who wants to humiliate yourself. In fact, in my eyes, even if there were 10 of you, you still wouldn't be qualified to be mentioned in the same breath as purgatory. Who the hell do you think you are? Qin Wentian unyieldingly spoke. Both of their words were filled with sharpness, instantly attracting the attention of many. Those geniuses all had smiles on their faces as they stared at the scene before them with interest. This man seems extremely unfamiliar. Everyone stared at Qin Wentian as they mused. They had no idea who invited him here. Sir, your words are so rude and disrespectful. Would there really be a holy maiden who would invite you to participate in this immortal banquet? Rong Xiao coldly spoke. If people respect me, I will respect them. As for who invited me, what does that have to do with you? Qin Wentian retorted. Rong Xiao laughed. Fine, I will wait. As he spoke, he walked to the side. At this moment, from different directions of the Namhuang clan, numerous silhouettes could be seen walking over. Each and every one of them was extremely beautiful, exuding an ethereal aura. All of them were celestial maidens. Chapter 1039. Qin Wentian glanced at everyone. All of them were females. For a moment, 100 flowers bloomed in the air as they came from different directions. The Southern Phoenix clan had countless years of foundation, and each of their bloodlines were flourishing. They were like a small country and naturally had many descendants. Any ancient clan that had existed for countless years would naturally flourish. These beauties before them were all holy maidens. They would be contending for the position of the holy successor of this generation. What a feast of beauties! Those who came sighed in admiration. The number of beauties before them was truly dazzling, too much for their eyes to take in. Nanfeng Qingrua, pure and refined, truly a peerless beauty. Many people turned their gazes onto the maiden in green. Nanfeng Qingrua had a cultivation base at the second level of Immortal Foundation. Her cultivation base was extremely high, and she was one of the few holy maidens of the Southern Phoenix clan with the most support. Nanfeng Shunga is like a character from a painting, untainted by the mortal world. Everyone turned to another holy maiden of the Namhuang clan, Nanfeng Shunga. She was also at the second level of Immortal Foundation and was extremely powerful. Her demeanor was extraordinary, and she was one of the most popular holy maidens. Nanfeng Aoshua, a domineering beauty, a cold beauty with a cultivation base at the third level of Immortal Foundation. Everyone turned to another holy maiden. This holy maiden was none other than Nanfeng Mushue of the Namhuang clan. Namhuang Yunxi. At this moment, the eyes of everyone landed on a cold maiden clad in phoenix robes. Her beauty was unparalleled, and even among the group of beauties, one could still recognize her with a single glance. This maiden was none other than Namhuang Yunxi. Senior brother, the Namhuang clan is truly an ancient clan. Their population is flourishing and beauties are as common as the clouds. If the Namhuang clan were to hold a marriage selection, just the thought of it would cause one to feel fear. The inheritance of the Namhuang clan is truly strong. Jun Mingchen mumbled beside Qin Wentian. Qin Wentian smiled and shook his head. How could the descendants of such outstanding people not be outstanding? The Namhuang clan only wants to marry into their clan. Do you want to consider it? Qin Wentian smiled at Jun Mingchen. Actually, it doesn't matter to me. Still depends on strength. Even if I marry into their clan, if one day my strength is stronger than everyone in the Namhuang clan, wouldn't I be able to live a carefree life? I can even establish my own sect. Jun Mingchen casually spoke. That's because they have the mark of the Namhuang clan on them. There are many businesses of the Namhuang clan owned in this city. In fact, many sects are affiliated to the Namhuang clan. These sects are all branches of the Namhuang clan. Jun Mingchen smiled and nodded. Indeed, it was impossible for a disciple of the Heavenly Talisman realm to marry into the Namhuang clan. Senior brother, I feel that although the Namhuang clan doesn't say it openly, but according to the rumors I've heard these few days, they really do have the intention to recruit a son-in-law. Jun Mingchen transmitted his voice to Qin Wentian. Think about it, who are the people invited this time around? Heavens chosen from the major powers, or the descendants of immortal kings and emperors? These holy maidens all have a good relationship with them, and if they really have a good relationship with one of them, they might even talk about marriage and become the son-in-law of the Namhuang clan. After that, the Namhuang clan would form a marriage alliance with the major powers of the southern region. Qin Wentian smiled as he glanced at Jun Mengchen, nodding his head lightly. Many holy maidens of the Namhuang clan also had to marry. They would naturally choose the most outstanding person. That's why I said that Namhuang Yunxi is interested in senior brother. Jun Mengchen continued transmitting his voice, giggling. Qin Wentian glared at him. Maybe she only invited me here to help. Namhuang Yunxi is acquainted with us in the city of ancient emperors, and the cultivation bases of the other holy maidens aren't any weaker than her. Before this, they must have entered the city of ancient emperors or other places to roam the immortal realms and know many friends. Hence they invited us here. The Namhuang clan is a transcendent power, and the status of their holy maidens is extraordinary. It's not as easy to marry them as you think. Fairy Aoshua, how have you been? Rong Xiao walked up to Nanfeng Aoshua with a smile on his face. Rong Xiao, it's been a long time. You look as graceful as ever. Nanfeng Aoshua nodded her head to Rong Xiao. After that, she turned her gaze to the other people beside her as they chatted. Rong Xiao discovered that Nanfeng Aoshua didn't just invite him here. She also invited a few other friends, both male and female. One of them was exceptionally outstanding, and Nanfeng Aoshua was smiling as she chatted with him. Zhongzhan. This person was named Zhongzhan. His entire body glowed with a golden light, and just by standing there, he gave off a terrifying feeling of sharpness. He's a demonic beast. Purgatory spoke in a low voice. She could sense the blazing demonic qi in his body. Bzizi. Zhongzhan's gaze shot over. His eyes were golden in color, and they were akin to countless sharp swords that directly landed on Purgatory, causing her to feel a piercing pain. Purgatory vermilion bird. Zhongzhan's eyes gleamed with a wild light. A golden condor. Purgatory coldly spoke. Zhongzhan's true form was that of a condor. It's a golden heaven-warring condor. Zhongzhan faintly spoke, smiling at Purgatory. However, there were hints of ill intentions in that smile, causing a look of wariness to appear in Purgatory's eyes. Qin Wentian smiled when he saw how angry Purgatory was. Although Purgatory seemed more mature, her temperament wasn't as steady as Little Rascal. If Little Rascal was here, he might act the same way as Zhongzhan, showing a look of yearning for Qin Wentian. Zhongzhan would definitely be angered. The friends invited by Nanfeng Qingrua and Nanfeng Shanga were all extraordinary as well. Clearly, they were the cream of the crop among the geniuses here. Qin Wentian faintly heard some people mentioning the city of ancient emperors. These people should all have glorious battle achievements in the immortal ascension rankings. The gazes of many turned to Nanfeng Yunxi. This young holy maiden of the Southern Phoenix clan didn't seem to have many friends. They had never heard of her having any special friends, and no one knew who she invited. At this moment, the crowd only saw Namhuang Yunxi turning her gaze in a certain direction, after which a hint of a smile flickered in her eyes, akin to a cold plum blossom blooming in the snow. Her beauty was indescribable, causing many in the crowd to be mesmerized. After which, Namhuang Yunxi took the initiative to walk in a certain direction, stopping before a few people. She smiled at a young man. Seems like I didn't trust you wrongly. You are indeed here. The eyes of the crowd flickered, instantly focusing on Qin Wentian. There was no such character in the Southern Phoenix Immortal City. If not, he would have been recognized long ago. A beauty from the Southern Phoenix Immortal City sent someone to deliver the invitation. How can I not attend the banquet? Qin Wentian smiled. I spent a great deal of effort before I managed to find you. Luckily, the invitation was delivered to you. In order to locate Qin Wentian, Namhuang Yunxi had mobilized quite a bit of her power. When she learned that Qin Wentian was at the Immortal Champion Gate, she sent someone to deliver the invitation to him. You only invited me? Qin Wentian stared at Namhuang Yunxi as he chatted with her. No one else came forward. Namhuang Yunxi nodded lightly. Aren't you worried that I wouldn't attend after receiving the invitation? Qin Wentian was speechless. In that case, I can only blame it on my bad luck. But no matter what, I'm still a member of the Qin sect. I believe you, as the sect leader of the Qin sect, wouldn't not give me face. Oh, you guys are flirting like this. Is it really okay to leave me hanging by the side? Jun Mengchen spoke in a depressed tone. Namhuang Yunxi glanced at him and smiled. I didn't expect you to be here as well. Seems like my luck is pretty good. Is this beauty purgatory? Emcham. Qin Wentian nodded. 3 from the Qin sect came. Nam Huangyunqi smiled. At this moment, a beautiful maiden that was as beautiful as a painting walked over. It was none other than Nanfeng Shunga. She smiled at Qin Wentian and spoke, "You must be the leader of the Qin sect, Qin Wentian, who fought side by side with Yunqi in the city of ancient emperors, right? You used your shocking strength to defeat the son of Zidi, Zi Daoyang, and obtained the first rank in the Immortal Ascension rankings, trampling all the geniuses of that batch under your feet. No wonder Yunqi would invite you here." Holy Maiden praises me too much. Qin Wentian smiled as he replied. Beside Nanfeng Shunga, there was a young man who was bathed in a mystical light. His aura was incomparably surging, and he was clearly an extraordinary character. He stared at Qin Wentian and spoke, "I've heard of you as well. Zi Daoyang died in the hands of Xia, but the reason why you injured him and drew out Zidi's immortal sense is not unrelated. I also heard that the son of the Xian Emperor Xian Xing died in your hands as well, and the personal disciple of the Dongsheng Heaven Emperor Ke Qianni was also killed by you. You are the most illustrious character in the city of ancient emperors, and only Xia can contend against you." Upon hearing the words of this person, the expressions of the crowd changed as they stared at Qin Wentian. Before this, they were all filled with doubt and disdain, but now they had to take him seriously. Heavily injuring Zi Daoyang, causing his death, killing the son of the Xian Emperor, and destroying the personal disciple of the Dongsheng Heaven Emperor. This fellow didn't seem to be as calm as he looked on the surface. He was definitely a madman, offending 3 immortal emperors in a single instant. He was simply tired of living. Chapter 1040. Rong Zhao's gaze changed when he looked at Qin Wentian. He didn't expect Qin Wentian to be so famous, obtaining the top ranker of the Immortal Ascension rankings in the city of ancient emperors. As for Zidi's son Zi Daoyang and Xia, they had never interacted with them before, and didn't have a good understanding of their strength. But since they were descendants of immortal kings and emperors, they shouldn't be weak. It was just that they didn't know how strong they would be when compared to the geniuses at the peak of the southern regions. He shouldn't be a genius from the southern Phoenix Immortal City, right? Someone asked. Qin Wentian is from the Eastern Sage 13 prefectures, the Immortal Qianbian Gate where the Emperor Qianbian resides. Nanfeng Yunqi spoke, informing everyone of Qin Wentian's identity. If this was the case, they would be more respectful when speaking to him. Many of the people here were descendants of immortal kings and emperors, and some of them were geniuses at the peak of the southern region. So this is the case. A heavens chosen from the eastern regions, it's truly not bad to be able to meet here. If there's a chance, we can even spar against each other. The eyes of someone flickered with battle intent. Although he is the top ranker of the Immortal Ascension rankings, he is in the same batch as Holy Maiden Nam Huangyunqi, and has just broken through to Immortal Foundation not too long ago. His cultivation base isn't high enough. A young expert wearing a special armor said faintly. His tone was filled with arrogance and arrogance. He was wearing a platinum-like battle robe, which made people feel that he was extraordinarily powerful. His eyes were so calm that it made people feel that he was unfathomable. This person stood beside a supreme beautiful holy maiden. This was none other than Nanfeng Qingrua, a heavens chosen who was invited here by Nanfeng Qingru. Even in the perspective of the crowd here, his status could be considered to be at the peak. He was a disciple of a powerful ancient clan in the southern regions, a supreme genius of the Jiang clan. The Jiang clan was the same as the Namhuang clan, an ancient clan with a long history and deep foundations. It wasn't easy for Nanfeng Qingrua to invite a disciple of the Jiang clan here. What was even rarer was that this young man was named Jiang Ziyu. He was extremely famous among the younger generations of the Jiang clan, and many years ago, he was the top ranker on the Immortal Ascension rankings in the City of Ancient Emperors. Right now, he had already broken through to the second level of Immortal Foundation, and had extremely powerful combat prowess. In the southern regions of the Immortal Realms, the 3 ancient clans were the hegemons. The other Immortal Emperor-ranked powers all had their own sharpness, but the foundations of the 3 ancient clans were the deepest. The three ancient clans were the Nam Huang clan of the Southern Phoenix Immortal City, the Jiang clan of the ancient Sky Capital, and the Ying clan of the Imperial Emperor City. Among the three ancient clans, the Nam Huang clan didn't like to fight, hence, the Southern Phoenix Immortal City was extremely safe. The Jiang clan was the most low-profile and mysterious, having the smallest population among the three. The Ying clan of the Imperial Emperor City had the greatest ambitions. They established the Ying Immortal Empire and were the hegemons of the southern regions on the surface. In the empire, the Ying clan was the king. Unlike the Nam Huang clan and the Jiang clan who didn't openly control their own territories. They only had absolute influence in their own territories, but they didn't need other powers to submit to them. Qin Wentian glanced at Zhang Ziyu. He could sense the vast might radiating from him. Zhang Ziyu was definitely an extremely powerful character. After which, he heard Nam Huang Yunqi sending him a voice transmission, a genius from the Jiang clan, one of the three ancient clans of the southern regions, Zhang Ziyu. He entered the city of ancient emperors many years ago, and obtained the top ranker on the Immortal Ascension rankings. Qin Wentian glanced at Nam Huang Yunqi. Seems like Nam Huang Yunqi regarded this young man with great importance and intentionally sent him a voice transmission. The immortal banquet has already been prepared. Everyone, please be seated. At this moment, a voice drifted over. Everyone turned their gazes over, and upon seeing that the preparations for the immortal banquet had already been completed, they all nodded their heads and entered the immortal banquet, casually taking their seats. Qin Wentian, Jun Mingchen, Purgatory and Nam Huang Yunqi sat together, while the other holy maidens sat beside their friends. The immortal banquet was naturally extremely sumptuous. There were strange fruits that exuded immortal qi, and one could tell with a single glance that these weren't ordinary items. Jun Mingchen took a fruit and directly swallowed it. A moment later he felt a terrifying surge of heat, burning his immortal body, seeping into his immortal bones, cleansing his body. Good stuff. Jun Mingchen smiled. Senior brother, it seems like we're in luck. The immortal banquet of the Nam Huang clan isn't simple at all. Yunqi, do you want to sit on the host seat? This immortal banquet today can be considered to have used your name to invite all the geniuses here. The beautiful matriarch of the Southern Phoenix clan glanced at Nanfeng Yunqi as she spoke. No need, it's the same even if I sit here. Nam Huang Yunqi shook her head. That's fine too. Accompany your friends and have a good chat. The beautiful middle-aged woman calmly spoke. There were many elders from the previous generations of the Nam Huang clan beside her. Everyone here is from the same generation. As people from the previous generations, there's no need for us to say too much. Everyone, feel free to come here and interact more. There's no need to stand on ceremony. If you have any requests, feel free to state them. These juniors of the Nam Huang clan still need your help. The beautiful middle-aged woman smiled. After that, she raised her wine cup and smiled at everyone. Let me toast to everyone. I wish everyone a pleasant banquet. Senior is too polite. Everyone raised their cups and downed it. After that, they started chatting among themselves, creating a lively atmosphere. You should be able to guess that the reason I invited you here isn't merely because I've stepped into the Immortal Foundation, right? Nam Huang Yunqi spoke to Qin Wentian beside her. Qin Wentian nodded his head lightly. In that case, do you know the specifics now? Nam Huang Yunqi asked again. I roughly know a little, but I don't know the details. Qin Wentian replied. I'm here to ask for your help. Nam Huang Yunqi directly spoke. There are many holy maidens in the Nam Huang clan, but only one can appear every 100 years. They have to pass the test and enter the ancestral land of our Nam Huang clan. Only the ancestral land can determine who the holy successor is. Ancestral land? Qin Wentian's eyes flashed. The Nam Huang clan actually didn't hide anything about this. Yes, the ancestral land requires someone to protect the holy successor. Among the holy maidens of the Nam Huang clan, only 9 of them have the qualifications to enter. Hence, the majority of them have to be eliminated. I invited you here because I want to ask for your help. I want to contend for the position of the holy successor. Nam Huang Yunqi didn't beat around the bush and spoke directly. After speaking, her beautiful eyes stared at Qin Wentian. Okay, I will do my best to help you. Qin Wentian nodded, not bothering to be polite at all. Thank you. However, our opponents aren't simple. They are all very powerful. Nam Huangyunqi smiled. Since she invited Qin Wentian here, she naturally understood that given Qin Wentian's personality, he would definitely act to help her. This fellow was someone who valued loyalty. I know. Aren't you worried that my cultivation base is too low when I just stepped into Immortal Foundation? I can see that the highest cultivation base here is at the 4th level of Immortal Foundation. Are there no restrictions on the cultivation base of the people you invite? Qin Wentian curiously asked. Cultivation base doesn't represent everything. You will understand. Nam Huangyunqi smiled. I believe that we will definitely succeed in the first round and enter the ancestral land of the Nam Huang clan. To you, this can also be considered a tempering exercise. It's just that after entering the ancestral land, the competition will be even more intense. You will have to face powerful opponents. Qin Wentian nodded his head lightly. I still have a question. Why don't you get the Nam Huang clan's own people to protect the ancestral land? Why do you want to use outsiders instead? Very simple. After the holy maidens of the Nam Huang clan enter the ancestral land to obtain the inheritance, there would be a period of time where they wouldn't be able to resist. If the people of the Nam Huang clan enter together, it would be too dangerous. Let alone protecting the ancestral land, they might not even be able to resist the temptation of the inheritance. Nam Huangyunqi slowly spoke. Upon seeing a look of contemplation on Qin Wentian's face, she smiled. But you don't have to think too much about it. Only those with the bloodline of the Nam Huang clan would be able to obtain the inheritance. They even dare to defy the orders of the Nam Huang clan? Is the temptation of the ancestral land so great? Qin Wentian's eyes flashed. This has already been proven many years ago. There were many cases of betrayal, and in the end we decided to use people who aren't from the Nam Huang clan. The ancestral land has a mysterious attraction to the descendants of the Nam Huang clan. Nam Huangyunqi replied. The two of them were chatting openly. The others were the same as well. Since they asked for help, they naturally had to make things clear. After all, this wasn't some secret. Many people came here because they wanted to witness the inheritance of the Nam Huang clan. All the geniuses here should understand now, right? The inheritance of our Nam Huang clan will have to trouble all of you. The beautiful middle-aged woman spoke again. The ancestral land opened once every 100 years to select a holy successor. To the Nam Huang clan, this was a major matter. It's my honor to be able to personally protect the holy successor of the Nam Huang clan. An arrogant voice rang out. The person who spoke was none other than Zhong Zhan. He was confident in his own strength, and in addition to Nanfeng Aoshua's strength, there was no doubt that the two of them would be a perfect match. Arrogant. Jiang Ziyu coldly spoke. After that, he turned to Nanfeng Qingrua beside him and spoke in a low voice. Qingrua, the position of the holy successor will definitely be yours. Shunga, I naturally won't disappoint you. The protector of Nanfeng Shunga spoke. He was determined to succeed. All the geniuses here are filled with lofty aspirations. I wish all of you success in advance. The beautiful middle-aged woman smiled. She liked to see the holy maidens of the Nam Huang clan competing against each other. Only through competition would experts emerge. The most outstanding ones would always step on geniuses to advance. Chapter 1041. Everyone enjoyed the immortal banquet, chatting idly. Nam Huangyunqi introduced many immortal emperors to Qin Wentian, as well as many geniuses with extraordinary statuses. Qin Wentian silently noted them down. Immortal emperors were existences that stood at the peak of the immortal realms. It was precisely this group of people that stood at the peak of authority. This was especially so for those immortal emperors who controlled vast territories. For example, the three ancient clans of the southern regions. One could say that they controlled the vast majority of the southern regions and had terrifying influence. Just a slight move from them would cause the entire southern regions to tremble. After the banquet, the beautiful middle-aged woman stood up and invited everyone to the Southern Phoenix arena of the Nam Huang clan. After that, all the holy maidens and geniuses respectively stood up and headed over. In the inner regions of the Southern Phoenix clan, there was an extremely spacious area. There were many phoenix pavilions here, and among them the largest one in the center was the most dazzling. Streams of light flowed around the phoenix pavilion, resplendent and resplendent. There seemed to be a powerful formation inscribed on it, exuding a marvelous might. At this moment all the geniuses arrived here. Beside each holy maiden of the Namhuang clan, there were experts that they invited to help them. Beside Namhuang Yunxi, Qin Wentian, Jun Mengchen and Purgatory stood there. In the surroundings of the Southern Phoenix Arena, many figures silently appeared. These were all old men from the various factions of the Namhuang clan. They were all paying close attention to this battle. The Namhuang clan was governed by the Southern Phoenix matriarch, and although these holy maidens all had the blood of the Southern Phoenix matriarch flowing in their veins, they were all from different factions of the Namhuang clan. The holy maidens who could become the holy successor of the Southern Phoenix matriarch might very well determine the potential of that faction. In the future, whoever ascended to the position of the Southern Phoenix matriarch would be the ruler of the entire Namhuang clan. Hence, every 100 years a holy successor would be born. Let's go to the Phoenix Arena. Namhuang Yunxi spoke to Qin Wentian and the other two. Immediately, they walked up to one of the 36 smaller Southern Phoenix stages. Immediately, the shadow of a phoenix appeared on that Southern Phoenix stage, surrounding the entire stage. One faction after another walked up to the Southern Phoenix stage, and although the shadow of the phoenix was different in shape, its aura and size were all the same. Next, my Namhuang clan will select 9 holy maidens to enter the ancestral lands. These 9 holy maidens will be from the 9 factions with the highest battle achievements. The holy maidens can participate in the battles, or they can invite their friends to assist them in battle. But remember, the holy maidens can borrow the power of the formations of the Southern Phoenix stage to increase their combat prowess, allowing them to have a combat strength at the peak of the 3rd level of Immortal Foundation. When the holy maidens participate in the battles, they must fight against their opponents at the same cultivation level. As for those who assist the holy maidens, they must fight with their own strength and are unable to borrow the power of the formations of the Southern Phoenix stage. At this moment, that beautiful middle-aged woman walked up to the Southern Phoenix stage and announced. Qin Wentian glanced at Namhuang Yunxi only to see her smiling back at him. You are truly ruthless. You can borrow the power of the formations but I can't. Even so, you still invited me. Look at them, the majority of them only invited 2nd level and 3rd level Immortal Foundation experts. There's even one who invited a 4th level Immortal Foundation expert. Are you not afraid that I'll drag your battle achievements down? Qin Wentian stared at Namhuang Yunxi as he spoke. 4th level Immortal Foundation experts can enter the ancestral lands, but they won't be able to participate in this battle. As for 3rd level Immortal Foundation experts, I can borrow the power of the formations to deal with them. As for 1st level and 2nd level Immortal Foundation experts, I believe in your combat prowess. Namhuang Yunxi smiled. Qin Wentian nodded his head lightly. The holy maidens of the Namhuang clan could borrow the power of the formations to unleash a combat strength at the 3rd level of Immortal Foundation. This meant that the battle would still depend on the holy maidens' combat prowess. The people invited here would be used as support in battle. Naturally, the stronger the person, the more useful they would be. As for after entering the ancestral lands, Qin Wentian temporarily didn't know what he wanted them to do. But most probably, the main task was to protect the holy maidens. How many battles are there? Qin Wentian asked. 36 battles. Each group has to fight 36 battles and they cannot repeat the same battle twice. For the 9 groups with the highest battle achievements, the holy maidens will be able to bring people into the ancestral lands, Namhuang Yunxi replied. I'm sure everyone is clear about the rules. Namfeng Aoshua, you will be the first to fight. After that, you will take turns to fight. The beautiful middle-aged woman spoke. After that, she soared up into the air, leaving the Phoenix Arena in the center to everyone. Namfeng Aoshua stepped out and instantly landed on the arena. Her aura surged as the might of a 3rd level Immortal Foundation expert gushed forth, causing Qin Wentian to sigh in admiration. Did she really break through to the 3rd level of Immortal Foundation within 100 years of age? No. Namhuang Yunxi shook her head. She stared at Qin Wentian and continued. The Namhuang clan will choose 36 holy maidens within 100 years. At the time of selection, some of the holy maidens have already reached adulthood before they were conferred the title of holy maiden. For the battles 100 years later, they naturally wouldn't be over 100 years old. There are also some who were conferred the title of Holy Maiden during this period of 100 years. When the 100-year deadline arrives, they still haven't stepped into the immortal realm, and could only push it back 100 years to participate in the inheritance battle. Namfeng Aoshue belongs to the former category, while I belong to the latter category. I was conferred the title of Holy Maiden during the middle period of the inheritance battle. If not, I would be the same as Namfeng Aoshue, participating in the inheritance battle 100 years later. Wouldn't that be an even greater advantage? Qin Wentian laughed. However, even if it's over 100 years later, being able to step into the third level of Immortal Foundation is already considered extremely outstanding, right? The Namhuang clan is an ancient clan with deep foundations. You can't use common sense to evaluate them. For those who stand at the peak, their cultivation speed would naturally be much faster compared to those in the outside world. If I manage to obtain the position of Holy Maiden, I'm afraid you'll have to work harder. If not, I'll leave you in the dust very quickly. Nam Huang Yunxi joked. Let's wait and see. Qin Wentian didn't mind it as he laughed. Namfeng Aoshue chose a faction of Holy Maidens, while the other Holy Maiden stepped out. She borrowed the blood of the ancient phoenix to activate the augmentation formation of the phoenix arena, allowing her to possess the aura of a third-level Immortal Foundation cultivator. The might of their immortal foundations gushed forth as two fearsome phoenixes manifested in the air. Their phoenix immortal foundations flickered in and out of existence. The immortal foundation you established, is it a phoenix immortal foundation as well? Qin Wentian asked Nam Huang Yunxi. Naturally, if one has sufficient strength, the holy maidens of our Namhuang clan would all choose to establish a Phoenix Immortal Foundation. But even if the Phoenix Immortal Foundation is of the same grade, the might of the Phoenix Immortal Foundation would naturally be different. Nam Huang Yunxi spoke. The Immortal Foundation established by Immortal Foundation experts was formed by fusing all of their astral souls and constellations together, ultimately transforming into an Immortal Foundation. Relying on augmentation formations to increase one's strength is clearly a disadvantage. The Immortal Foundation of third-level Immortal Foundation experts would naturally be much stronger. Qin Wentian silently mused as he watched the battle. Namfeng Aoshue was like a true phoenix. With a lift of her hand, the shadow of a phoenix could be seen, containing a heaven-shaking might. The gigantic phoenix arena was enveloped by a protective screen of light, preventing the shockwaves from the battle from affecting the surroundings. Speed, strength, flames, immortal arts and innate techniques. Namfeng Aoshue holds the absolute advantage. There's no doubt about it. Qin Wentian knew that the victor of this battle would be decided in an instant. And as expected, not long after, Namfeng Aoshue defeated her opponent, obtaining the first victory. After her battle ended, she spoke, "My friend still wants to continue fighting." "Okay." The beautiful middle-aged woman in the air nodded. After that, Zhongzhan stepped out. Zhongzhan was a golden heavenly warring condor, possessing the purest bloodline. His combat prowess was extremely high, and it was said that the defense of this purebred demonic beast was comparable to the divine bird, golden-winged roc. Zhongzhan walked up the Phoenix arena. Golden battle armor instantly appeared on his body as his golden eyes stared at the surroundings. Although he wanted to fight against the most outstanding geniuses, he temporarily suppressed his urge when he thought of Namfeng Aoshue. After entering the ancestral lands, there was no need to fear that there wouldn't be a chance for him to fight. He had to first ensure that he would win all 36 battles before entering the ancestral lands. "I think it's better for you guys." Zhongzhan's gaze landed on the holy maiden who was defeated by Namfeng Aoshue earlier. His words caused the holy maiden to frown. She had invited two helpers and both of them were experts at the same level as her, at the second level of Immortal Foundation. But even so, it would be a little difficult for them to deal with Zhongzhan. "I'll go." A genius beside the holy maiden walked out. He was a heaven's chosen from a major power in the southern Phoenix Immortal City. His aura surged as he exuded terrifying might. However, at this moment, Zhongzhan's entire body radiated golden light as the might of his immortal foundation was unleashed to the extreme. Boom! Stepping out, he was like a bolt of golden lightning as he appeared before his opponent. Numerous terrifying golden heavenly warring condors appeared, intertwining with fearsome law energy. They were like an extremely powerful battle formation, crushing everything in its path. The countenance of his opponent changed. The might of his immortal foundation gushed forth, akin to the Milky Way in the 9 heavens. Silver-white light cascaded downwards, wanting to engulf his opponent's attack. Chi-Chi, the golden heavenly warring condors transformed into a battle formation. Their sky-blotting wings directly slashed apart the silver-white light as they continued flying towards their opponent. Terrifying rumbling sounds rang out as the resplendent golden light shattered everything before slamming into his opponent, causing him to cough out blood. How violent! Everyone stared at Zhong Zhan. Nanfeng Aoshua was originally very strong and her helpers were also powerful. She instantly obtained 2 victories. Rongxiao, help me for the 3rd battle. Nanfeng Aoshua spoke to Rongxiao. Rongxiao nodded his head. After Zhong Zhan retreated from the arena, he walked up and stared at the crowd. His cultivation base was at the 2nd level of Immortal Foundation and his combat prowess was extremely strong. His gaze landed on Nam Huang Yunqi's side as he stared at Qin Wentian. Brother Qin from the eastern region, I wonder how strong you are? Are you willing to spar with me? If Brother Qin doesn't dare to, there's no harm in sending Holy Maiden Yunqi out. When the Holy Maiden fought, she had to fight with the same cultivation base as her opponent. But the helpers Nam Huang Yunqi invited were all at the 1st level of celestial phenomenon. This caused many to feel bewildered. Did Nam Huang Yunqi really intend to rely on her own strength to enter the ancestral lands? Although this battle mainly depended on the Holy Maiden herself, the helpers were still extremely important. Chapter 1042. For the battle today, although there were many 1st-level Immortal Foundation experts, the majority of them were at the 2nd level or even the 3rd level. This was naturally for the sake of victory. If Nam Huang Yunqi insisted on participating in every battle, things would be extremely dangerous for her. Before this, I initially thought that Yunqi would be able to enter the ancestral lands. But now it seems that I've made a mistake. Nanfeng Aoshua stared at Nam Huang Yunqi as she spoke. Nam Huang Yunqi's talent wasn't bad and had established an extremely powerful Immortal Foundation. When she first broke through to Immortal Foundation, many elders in her clan were already looking up to her, hoping that she would be able to enter the ancestral lands and fight for the position of the holy successor. However, she still invited Qin Wentian to participate. Since Qin Wentian was the top ranker on the Immortal Ascension rankings in the City of Ancient Emperors, his strength and talent naturally wouldn't be weak. But after all, he had just broken through to Immortal Foundation, and it wasn't suitable for him to participate in this battle. These people were all geniuses of the southern domain with extraordinary combat prowess. It wouldn't be so easy for them to jump levels and fight against opponents. Senior brother, let me participate in this battle. Jun Mengchen was extremely excited. After he broke through to Immortal Foundation, he had always been in a state of cultivation and had yet to face a true battle. Now this was a chance for him. Since he stepped onto the Phoenix Arena, he could also be considered a part of the battle. Each Holy Maiden could only invite a maximum of 3 people to participate in a battle, and it just so happened that all 3 of them could participate. As long as they won, it would be considered a victory. Brother Qin, you know that you will lose for sure. Do you want others to lose in your place? Rongxiao continued, provoking Qin Wentian. After that, he turned his gaze to Purgatory and Nam Huang Yunqi as he smiled. Holy Maiden Yunqi, it doesn't seem wise for you to invite Brother Qin to participate in this battle. Mengchen, since this person wants to fight against me so badly, let me do it. There will be a chance for you to fight against him. Qin Wentian spoke to Jun Mengchen. Right. Jun Mengchen nodded. Senior brother, you have to teach him how to be a proper person. Yes. Qin Wentian stepped out, landing on the Phoenix Arena. Brilliant light flashed as a light screen enveloped the platform. Rong Zhao's Immortal Foundation erupted forth as a phenomenon manifested in the sky. Law energy circulated in the air, as the might of his Immortal Foundation gushed forth unceasingly. In an instant, Qin Wentian only felt a terrifying immortal might enveloping him. What ability is this? Qin Wentian stared at the constellation diagram formed by the law energy of the void. It actually transformed into numerous armored knights riding on heavenly horses. Each of them wielded a silvery white spear, exuding immortal might. Behind Rong Xiao, a gigantic night shadow also appeared. At this moment Rong Xiao seemed to be riding on a warhorse as he soared into the sky. Kill! Rong Xiao coldly snorted. A moment later, a myriad of warhorses galloped forth, causing the air to tremble. Countless warhorses charged forth, aiming for Qin Wentian. Their speed was as fast as lightning, able to engulf Qin Wentian in an instant. Their terrifying spears and hooves were sufficient to crush Qin Wentian into dust. These warhorses weren't ordinary warhorses. When their hooves galloped through the air, thunderous rumbling sounds could be heard. They were incomparably thick and fast as well as powerful attacks. Qin Wentian stepped out in the air, releasing his immortal foundation as a fearsome might gushed forth. This was none other than the might of his immortal foundation. At this instant Rong Xiao felt his immortal foundation shuddering as a fearsome might bore down on him, like a heavy hammer slamming down on his immortal foundation. Qin Wentian punched out in the air. At the instant this punch blasted out, boundless runic light flowed within, transforming into fist light that could shatter space. Thunderous rumbling sounds rang out as the warhorses were all destroyed, shattered by that resplendent fist light. Not bad. A voice rang out in Qin Wentian's ears. Rong Xiao's silhouette transformed into a beam of light as his silver spear pierced straight for Qin Wentian's throat. Qin Wentian's eyes couldn't even follow his movements. Qin Wentian lifted his palms and blasted out. However, he only saw a flash of white light as the silhouette of his opponent reappeared in another direction. He was still riding on a warhorse and his speed was extremely fast as though he wasn't real. Boom! His silhouette transformed into a white silhouette, once more as the tens of thousands of warhorses galloped towards Qin Wentian. Qin Wentian furrowed his brows. His immortal sense gushed forth, and as the countless warhorses galloped over, he blasted out another attack. At the same time, his silhouette abruptly dodged to the side. A long spear brushed past his shoulder, transforming into a white silhouette as Rong Xiao appeared behind Qin Wentian. Your attack isn't bad, but your speed is too slow. A first-level immortal foundation is still a first-level immortal foundation after all. The disparity in cultivation levels cannot be made up for. Even if you were the top ranker of the immortal ascension rankings in the city of ancient emperors, it's useless. Rong Xiao spoke arrogantly. He was as carefree as ever as he continued, I won't play with you anymore. Boom! As the sound of his voice faded, Qin Wentian took a step out as a terrifying formless might bore down on his immortal foundation, causing Rong Xiao to furrow his brows. After that, he saw an immortal light radiating from Qin Wentian as the might of his immortal foundation gushed forth. Humph! With a cold snort, Rong Xiao vanished from his location once more. Numerous silhouettes appeared before Qin Wentian, whistling through the air with a speed so fast that it was hard to see with the naked eye. Qin Wentian didn't even bother to look at them. He directly punched out, his fist gleaming with a black light as terrifying law energy circulated around it. With a thunderous boom, the crowd only saw a long spear shattering into pieces. Rong Xiao's body was directly flung through the air, slamming into the light screen of the Phoenix Arena as he coughed out a mouthful of blood. A second-level Immortal Foundation cultivator only has this much combat prowess? Aren't you a little too useless? Qin Wentian continued walking forward. Rong Xiao's expression instantly turned ashen. Qin Wentian's voice was simply too face-smacking. Who was playing with whom exactly? Earlier he said that he didn't want to play with Qin Wentian anymore, and was sent flying by a single punch. In that instant earlier, he felt his immortal foundation being suppressed. Even the flow of his immortal energy wasn't as smooth as before. That space around him seemed to be sealed and he wanted to evade but he couldn't move at all. He could only take it head-on and was injured by that tyrannical strike. However, how could Qin Wentian, who was only at the first level of Immortal Foundation, be so powerful? You have lost, you can't even withstand a single strike. Qin Wentian walked towards Rong Xiao. Boom! Rong Xiao directly released his Immortal Foundation. Instantly, the starry space changed as a heavenly horse appeared in the air. It had a pair of silver wings that blotted out the sun as boundless might bore down on Qin Wentian. Rong Xiao slowly soared up into the air as he unleashed his strength to the extreme. Busy. With a flap of his wings, a beam of white light shot out, shooting towards Qin Wentian. It completely appeared in an instant, ignoring the distance between them. Such speed was so fast that no one would be able to react. Boom! Qin Wentian's immortal foundation erupted with heaven-shaking might. His body was like a fiend god as terrifying runic light circulated around him. The terrifying spear in Rong Zhao's hand instantly descended, piercing into Qin Wentian. However, at this instant, everyone saw an incomparably gigantic shadow of a Xuanwu divine turtle enveloping Qin Wentian, possessing shocking defensive prowess. As the long spear slashed out, the shadow of the Xuanwu divine turtle exploded apart, landing on Qin Wentian's fiend god physique. Everything happened as fast as lightning. Qin Wentian stretched out his palm, directly grabbing onto Rong Zhao's body. A terrifying jet-black fist blasted out, causing rumbling sounds to echo out. The immortal light radiating from Rong Zhao was instantly shattered as his immortal foundation felt like it was about to shatter. Boom! Another terrifying fist strike. Rong Zhao screamed in agony as he coughed out fresh blood and collapsed onto the ground. The phenomenon in the sky dissipated as the resplendent light radiating from him vanished as well. When Qin Wentian saw this scene, the might radiating from him also dissipated. He lowered his head and stared at Rong Zhao. A cultivation base at the second level of Immortal Foundation can't even break through my defense. You are courting a beating. After speaking, Qin Wentian directly turned and walked down the Phoenix Arena. The eyes of everyone gleamed with sharpness as they stared at Qin Wentian. This fellow's combat prowess was so strong. Seems like Nam Huang Yunqi invited him here because she understood his combat prowess. As for Rong Zhao, he was defeated so miserably. The gazes of the crowd were filled with pity. He who came here to help could be said to have lost a lot of face. Earlier when he was defeated, he shouldn't have continued to fight. Fortunately, I didn't disappoint you. Qin Wentian returned to the side of Nam Huang Yunqi as he laughed in a low voice. In this case, Nanfeng Aoshua's camp had 1 defeat, 2 victories and 1 defeat. As for Nam Huang Yunqi's camp, they had 1 victory. Nanfeng Aoshua glanced at Qin Wentian, her countenance cold. She was still thinking about whether they would be able to enter the ancestral lands with a complete victory. Who would have thought that her hopes would be shattered in the first round? And from the looks of Rong Zhao, it seemed like he wouldn't be able to participate in the subsequent battles. Rong Zhao stood up with great difficulty. Coldly, he glanced at Qin Wentian before lowering his head and walking down the arena. His face had been completely thrown away. Trash like this still thinks he's infallible. Jun Mingchen mocked. This fellow still wanted to enter purgatory? Continue. The beautiful middle-aged woman in the air spoke. Next, it was time for Nanfeng Qingruo's camp to act. Nanfeng Qingruo chose 2 helpers. One of them was Zhang Ziyu. He was extremely powerful, while the other was also a genius with outstanding talent. Nanfeng Qingruo acted. She chose a holy maiden and defeated her opponent. After that, her 2 helpers also acted and both of them won. Qin Wentian paid close attention to Zhang Ziyu's battle. The Zhang clan and the Namhuang clan were 2 of the 3 supreme clans in the southern regions. Zhang Ziyu was the same as him. He was also the top ranker of the Immortal Ascension rankings in the City of Ancient Emperors. Naturally, he wasn't an ordinary person. When he acted, the surging energy in his body was simply terrifying. With a single strike, he defeated his opponent without even being able to see through his true strength. This caused people to faintly feel that Zhang Ziyu was one of the most terrifying characters among these people. Even in the Zhang clan, he most probably had an extraordinary status and was a genius that was heavily nurtured. Qin Wentian's perception was extremely powerful, but he still couldn't see through this Zhang Ziyu. Was he really as mysterious as Nam Huang Yunqi said? What abilities does the Zhang clan specialize in? Qin Wentian transmitted his voice to Nam Huang Yunqi. For such ancient clans in the immortal realms, they would all have their own specialties. For example, the Namhuang clan had the blood of the ancient phoenix, allowing them to undergo nirvanic rebirth. You can't see through them, right? The Zhang clan is extremely mysterious, and they have many different cultivation techniques. But from what the Namhuang clan knows, the people of the Zhang clan all cultivate the Buddhist path. Namhuang Yunqi transmitted her voiceover. Qin Wentian glanced at Zhang Ziyu. Zhang Ziyu was extraordinarily handsome and didn't seem like a Buddhist cultivator at all. Chapter 1043. The battles continued. Qin Wentian observed seriously. This group of people were all geniuses of the southern regions, and it was extremely rare for them to have such combat experience. From their combat prowess, one could deduce how strong the geniuses of the southern regions were. Qin Wentian discovered that one could determine the strength of a genius from the immortal foundation they established. For those who established a mortal-grade immortal foundation, they were the weakest. Even if they established a third-tier mortal-grade immortal foundation, the third tier was the weakest among these geniuses. Similarly, the number of people who established such a foundation was also the highest. Above that would be a fourth-tier king-grade immortal foundation. Qin Wentian could sense that there were quite a few people who had this type of immortal foundation. As for fifth-tier king-grade immortal foundation, it was extremely rare for cultivators within the third level of immortal foundation to have one. As for Qin Wentian, he had yet to see anyone with a fifth-tier king-grade immortal foundation. Jiang Ziyu was more mysterious and he couldn't tell. But if there were any fifth-tier king-grade immortal foundation here, Jiang Ziyu should be one of them. In terms of immortal foundation, it was clear that Qin Wentian and the others around him were the highest. This determined that their cultivation on the path to immortality would be smoother compared to others, and their combat prowess would also be stronger. Who do you think would be able to enter the ancestral lands? After 2 rounds of battles, Nam Huang Yunqi transmitted her voice to Qin Wentian. Right now they had already won 3 battles. Nam Huang Yunqi won 2, while Qin Wentian won 1. Yu Nanfeng Aoshua, Nanfeng Qingrua, Nanfeng Shanga, Nanfeng Xihua, Nanfeng Yu, Nanfeng Yi, Nanfeng Ling, Nanfeng Qing. Qin Wentian replied. They have already established a king-grade immortal foundation, and their combat prowess is one of the stronger 9. Although there are still some who can stand shoulder to shoulder with them, the people they invited to help them are all stronger. Nam Huang Yunqi's beautiful eyes stared at Qin Wentian as she smiled. Your eyes are truly sharp. These 9 people are the most popular among this batch of participants, and all of them were selected by you without exception. After 2 rounds of battle, I can roughly see their strength, Qin Wentian said with a faint smile. The battle continued. At this moment, there was another person who challenged Nam Huang Yunqi's camp. This person was a helper of a certain holy maiden, and had a cultivation base at the 2nd level of immortal foundation. Nam Huang Yunqi glanced at Qin Wentian. She and Qin Wentian had agreed that if the saintess challenged her, she would fight. If not, Qin Wentian would decide who would fight. Mengchen, go ahead. Qin Wentian smiled when he saw how eager Jun Mengchen was. All right. Jun Mengchen's silhouette flashed as he appeared on the Phoenix arena. The expert opposite glanced at Jun Mengchen as he frowned and spoke with some unhappiness, letting a nameless first-level immortal foundation cultivator accept my challenge? Are you looking down on me? Could it be that he has also obtained the top ranker of the immortal ascension rankings before? Qin Wentian was only at the 1st level of immortal foundation, but his fame had spread far and wide. He had killed the descendants of immortal emperors before, and obtained the top ranker of the immortal ascension rankings. It was understandable that his combat prowess was strong. But who was this man now? He looked so young, perhaps even twice his age. Wasn't this a humiliation to him? If you want to fight, then let's fight. Why are you so long-winded? Are you sure you can win? Jun Mengchen was even more displeased. Was he looking down on him? That person flicked his sleeves and stared at Jun Mengchen. If I, Jun Mengchen, can't even defeat a nameless 1st-level immortal foundation character, how would I still have the face to stay in the Namhuang clan to aid the holy maiden in battle? Shameless boasting. Jun Mengchen roared in rage. With a loud roar, his aura erupted forth as the southern Phoenix arena transformed into a world of its own. Jun Mengchen's immortal foundation gushed forth as a world of its own appeared in the air. This world seemed so real, and its might swept out, enveloping his opponent within. Jun Mengchen was clad in armor, exuding an unparalleled aura, resembling a god of war. A terrifying immortal sense could be seen in the center of his brows as his spirit and energy surged to the extreme, transforming into a supreme battle will. His body exuded the aura of an emperor, and with a wave of his hand, the energy from the world of its own instantly gushed into his fist. It was like the fist of a king in chaotic times. The expression of that expert surnamed Jun Mengchen abruptly changed. When he felt the pressure from the world of its own, his expression changed unceasingly. He released the might of his immortal foundation, yet it felt as though he was being suppressed. The immortal energy in his body was unable to circulate smoothly. He was a level higher than Junmengchen, but his immortal foundation was actually being suppressed. This was simply unheard of. Junmengchen roared. He stepped out and instantly descended, punching out with his fist. Law energy transformed into a towering fist light that contained the might of a king, unexcelled in the world. The energy of the entire world trembled as the King of Chaos fist blasted out. That expert had a look of terror on his face. He couldn't even react. After he came to his senses, he frenziedly tried to resist, yet he discovered that Junmengchen's king might was able to suppress everything. Very swiftly, a thunderous boom rang out as that expert was flung through the air, heavily injured. After Mengchen entered immortality, his immortal foundation became perfect and underwent another transformation. The mysterious physique that shocked the entire Dongshengshan gate back then grew stronger and stronger. Qin Wentian silently mused when he saw this scene. The eyes of the people in the surroundings flickered as they stared at Junmengchen. This was a nameless nobody? Are you even qualified to speak to me like this? Junmengchen glanced at the injured expert before turning and walking down the Phoenix Arena. From afar, the old men of the Namhuang clan exchanged mutual glances, as though they were conversing about something. Their eyes gleamed with a strange light. Seems like the people invited by Namhuang Yunshi aren't to be trifled with. Everyone mused. It was best for this group of people to avoid challenging them. Right now they had already won all 4 battles. Most probably, one of the 9 inheritances would belong to them. Awesome! Qin Wentian laughed as he praised Junmengchen when he walked down. Junmengchen laughed. This fellow is too weak. That injured expert who walked down the Phoenix Arena almost coughed out blood from anger when he heard this. No matter what, he was a genius of the southern domain. Now that he was being mocked by someone, everyone soon discovered that when he returned to the side of the Holy Maiden, he only spoke a few words before he left. Earlier, he had already said that if he couldn't even defeat Junmengchen, how would he have the face to remain in the Namhuang clan? And now, as expected, he left. The battles continued, and as the battles continued, the chances of victory were gradually pulled apart. And as expected, the 9 holy maidens that Qin Wentian predicted all had a very high chance of victory, with almost no defeats at all. However, there was still one holy maiden whose faction was lagging behind. She was ranked 10th and had only lost a few battles. This holy maiden's name was Nanfengqiu. From Qin Wentian's perspective, she should be a holy maiden who established a king-grade immortal foundation. Also, among her 3 helpers, one of them was extremely powerful and had never lost a single battle. His strength might even be stronger than Nanfengqiu. Nanfengqiu's faction was able to catch up and was ranked 10th. His contribution was the greatest. At the end, Nanfengqiu even gave up on the other 2 helpers, only allowing that holy maiden to fight alongside her. But even so, she suffered a few defeats. This holy maiden's name was Du Han. According to Namhuang Yunshi, he was a disciple of an immortal emperor. However, he had never denied it. This immortal emperor was an unaffiliated cultivator, and was extremely mysterious. There were people who said that Du Han might be his son, but Du Han had never mentioned this before. He roamed the southern domain and gained quite a bit of fame in the Immortal Foundation realm. After that, he met Nanfengqiu and fell in love with her. He had always been pursuing this holy maiden of the Namhuang clan, and if there were no accidents, Du Han might very well marry into the Namhuang clan. Qin Wentian stared at this Du Han. Among the participants today, Du Han could be considered one of the more powerful ones. In fact, he could even surpass the vast majority of holy maidens. No wonder Namhuang Yunshi felt that he would marry into the Namhuang clan and marry Nanfengqiu. After a few more rounds of battles, some of the participants had already accumulated to 36 battles. Many holy maidens already knew that they had no more hope. Only Nanfengqiu still had hope. This was especially so after Du Han challenged Nanfengqing's faction, which had a record similar to theirs, and defeated her. With 1 win and 1 loss, Du Han managed to tie with Nanfengqiu. For the best battle, both factions chose the weaker holy maidens and won a battle. The final result was still a draw. The 36 battles ended. The top 10 factions all had extremely outstanding battle records. Qin Wentian's faction, which was at the first level of Immortal Foundation, actually won all their battles. However, they didn't clash with the other factions that were ranked higher. After all, this was just a selection battle. It was enough as long as they could enter the ancestral lands. There was no need for them to go all out. The battles after entering the ancestral lands were more important. Namfengqiu, Namfengqing, the results of your factions are the same. How about this? You don't need to choose those who are ranked lower than you to battle. Each of you can choose a faction that has to be ranked higher than you. If the victor isn't decided in a single battle, you can continue choosing your faction until a victor is decided. The beautiful middle-aged woman in the air spoke. Before this, Namfengqiu and Namfengqing had fought against each other. Namfengqiu narrowly lost to Namfengqing, but the person who helped Namfengqiu was stronger than Namfengqing. Hence, there was no longer any meaning for them to battle against each other. Okay, I will choose Nanfengling's faction. I will fight myself. Nanfengqing spoke. I will choose Nam Huangyunqi's faction. Duhan will fight. Nanfengqiu spoke. Both of them had made their choice. Chapter 1044. Nanfengqing chose to join Nanfengling's camp. But Nanfengling would be the one to decide who would fight. Nanfengqing was the same as Nanfengling. Both of them were holy maidens with high hopes of entering the ancestral lands. The two of them were roughly equal in strength, and their assistants were all extremely powerful as well. If you can enter the ancestors' land of inheritance, I'll fight you there. Nanfengling stared at Nanfengqing as she spoke. She sent one of her helpers to fight against Nanfengqing. That helper was extremely powerful and fought intensely against Nanfengqing. But in the end, he was still defeated by a slight disadvantage. Nanfengqing was victorious. Next, it was Nanfengqiu's camp. Nanfengqiu was a holy maiden and her strength was weaker than Nanfengqing. According to logic, she should give up her position and allow Nanfengqing to enter the ancestral lands. However, her assistant was extremely powerful and hence, she wanted to fight for it. From this point of view, even if she entered the ancestral lands, she wouldn't have a share of the inheritance. Du Han. Nanfengqiu stared at Du Han, still harboring a trace of hope. She didn't want to lose this battle. Even if she couldn't obtain the inheritance, she wanted to enter the ancestral lands to take a look. This was a rare opportunity and she would only have this one chance. If she missed it, there wouldn't be another. Entering the ancestral lands was the dream of every holy maiden. Don't worry, I won't lose. Du Han seriously spoke, staring at Nanfengqiu. Nanfengqiu nodded. The two of them glanced at each other. There was no need for words to be spoken. It wouldn't be bad if a couple could enter the ancestral lands. Sadly, Nanfengqiu wants to step on us and enter. But even if we lose, they still want to continue fighting. Junmengchen spoke in a low voice. After all, Nanfengqing had already won earlier, and the remaining people weren't weak. Nam Huangyunqi nodded lightly. Nanfengqiu had already been defeated by Nanfengqing. She shouldn't have entered the ancestral lands. Qin Wentian, I will leave Du Han to you. Nam Huangyunqi spoke. Right? Qin Wentian nodded his head lightly. This Du Han's strength wasn't bad. His yin-yang saber arts were extremely powerful, and he was a dangerous character. Although he wasn't as mysterious and powerful as Zhang Ziyu, he could also be considered a powerful character. In addition, he should be a genius that established a king-grade immortal foundation. Qin Wentian and Du Han walked up the Phoenix Arena together. Instantly, the eyes of the crowd flickered as they tried to guess who would emerge victorious. Du Han's cultivation base was at the second level of Immortal Foundation while Qin Wentian was at the first level. Up until now, both of them had never been defeated before. In addition, from a certain perspective, Du Han's role in Nanfengqiu's camp was even greater compared to Qin Wentian in Nam Huangyunqi's camp. Without Du Han, Nanfengqiu wouldn't have lasted until now and would have already been eliminated. But for Nam Huangyunqi's camp, regardless of Nam Huangyunqi or Junmengchen, neither of them had been defeated before. Du Han stood there and a sharp saber-like pressure bore down on Qin Wentian. His gaze was as sharp as his appearance, and his entire body exuded a dangerous aura. For this battle I will win for sure. Du Han's words were as sharp as a blade. You are fighting for Nanfeng Qiu. I can understand your conviction. But since she chose Nam Huang Yunqi, I will also protect the glory of Nam Huang Yunqi. I will treat this battle seriously, and this can be considered as my respect to you. Qin Wentian slowly spoke. From your tone you sound very arrogant. Du Han spoke. Qin Wentian seemed to be saying that he had never gone all out in a battle before. He would treat this battle seriously, that was all. Make your move. Qin Wentian spoke. Right? Du Han replied. As the sound of his voice faded, a strange phenomenon appeared in this space. In the void, many terrifying sabers appeared. The sabers that stretched across the void refracted a terrifying chill. The sabers were divided into two different intents. One exuded an incomparably cold underworld intent, while the other exuded a fiery red intent. The two intents fused together, intertwining, transforming into a yin-yang saber light that exuded a terrifying aura. Du Han stretched out his hand, grasping his saber. In an instant, a terrifying saber light directly slashed down, aiming for Qin Wentian. Even before the saber light was unleashed, the saber intent had already descended, wanting to create chaos in this space. Qin Wentian's entire body glowed with immortal light as runic inscriptions shimmered, resembling a fiend god armor. His physique was unparalleled, and when the saber intent slashed into him, it actually felt as though the saber intent had slashed into an indestructible armor. Terrifying sizzling sounds rang out. Everyone already knew that Qin Wentian had cultivated an extremely powerful body refinement art, causing his physique to be extremely terrifying, transforming into a fiend god body. Physique. Du Han stepped out as the might of his immortal foundation gushed forth. In an instant, a supreme saber light slashed down, aiming for Qin Wentian's head. Such a powerful saber light was simply unimaginable. Du Han had yet to truly unleash his saber. Boom! Immortal light radiated from Qin Wentian, as the might of his immortal foundation gushed forth. An even more resplendent halo enveloped him, circulating around Qin Wentian, causing everyone to feel that the current Qin Wentian was simply indestructible. That saber light slashed down, wanting to slice apart the heavens and earth. The sound of air being torn apart rang out, yet it had no way to break through Qin Wentian's defenses. Although its only saber intent, ordinary second-level immortal foundation experts wouldn't dare to block it. This man's immortal might is too powerful and his defenses are terrifying. The grade of his immortal foundation must be extremely high. Jiang Ziyu spoke in a low voice. Nanfeng Qingrua, who was beside him, smiled, glancing at Jiang Ziyu. Can his immortal foundation be higher than yours? Hard to say. Jiang Ziyu calmly replied, his words causing Nanfeng Qingrua's beautiful eyes to freeze. She cast a deep glance at Qin Wentian before asking, if you were to act, how long would you need to defeat him? I don't know, he hasn't used his full strength yet. But if it's only the strength he displayed earlier, it's still insufficient. Jiang Ziyu calmly spoke. Nanfeng Qingrua smiled. With you helping me, I will definitely be able to obtain the position of holy successor. On the Phoenix Arena, Du Han's aura grew stronger and stronger. The saber light in his hands swept through the heavens and earth, exuding a fearsome immortal might. His saber manifested a yin-yang diagram. Ice and fire fused together, one yin and one yang. The energy of the entire heavens and earth frenziedly fused into his saber, exuding an incomparably fearsome might. At the same time, a supreme sword chi gushed forth from Qin Wentian as boundless sword might gushed forth from him. Both of them seemed to be enveloped by a gigantic screen of light, a screen of sword and saber light, exuding terrifying might. Du Han's saber moved, slashing out with a single slash, as light as a feather. Such a tyrannical saber art, yet the instant it was slashed out, it was so gentle and elegant. However, the might radiating from it caused the hearts of everyone to tremble. The yin-yang saber light swept through the entire space, enveloping everything. There was simply no way to evade. Such a saber art could only be blocked head-on. Qin Wentian stabbed out with his finger. With a single strike, sword chi gushed forth, converging onto his finger, colliding with the incoming saber light. In an instant, the collision transformed into two waves of supreme might as two terrifying screens of light appeared. The yin-yang saber light was incomparably resplendent, while Qin Wentian's sword light was tyrannical and direct, capable of annihilating everything. The sword might contained within that finger contained a heaven-shaking destructive might. Du-Han's saber actually had no way to continue slashing down. Boom boom boom. The power of their immortal foundations frenziedly gushed into the saber and the sword finger. Two fearsome currents of energy gushed forth. And if it wasn't for the screen of light protecting the Phoenix Arena, the wind of destruction would have already ravaged this entire space, tearing the earth apart. Slash! Du-Han coldly roared. His saber pressed down once more, wanting to slash out. Qin Wentian took a step forward. A supreme light flowed to his fingertip as a fearsome destructive might pierced into the screen of light created by his opponent's yin-yang saber art. Break! Qin Wentian spat out a single word. Instantly, the saber light expanded frenziedly, slashing out in all 8 directions, no longer condensing together. After killing Qin Wentian, the momentum dissipated. Qin Wentian's finger slashed towards Du-Han, breaking the saber formed from immortal energy. He stared at Qin Wentian in a daze. I've lost. After a long time, Du-Han spoke in a low voice. Your strength is already considered not bad. Qin Wentian retracted his finger. As the victor, although he was advising Du-Han, in the eyes of Du-Han, it sounded more like mockery. Du-Han had a self-mocking smile on his face. Your cultivation base is at the first level of immortal foundation, yet I was defeated by you. How is this not bad? After speaking, he directly turned and departed. Qin Wentian didn't say anything more. His words weren't fake. He established a perfect saint-grade immortal foundation, and the amplification of his immortal energy was terrifying. He could even suppress a king-grade immortal foundation. Qin Wentian returned and nodded his head to Nam Huang Yunqi. Nam Huang Yunqi's camp had advanced to the next round with a complete victory. Even if there was an extra battle, they would still be considered as a victory, and would be able to enter the ancestral lands. Du-Han walked to Nanfeng Qiu and spoke, I've disappointed you. Nanfeng Qiu was indeed a little disappointed. She had always placed high hopes on the ancestral lands, wanting to enter. Yet she failed. Maybe I chose the wrong opponent. Although Nanfeng Qiu was disappointed, she didn't blame Du-Han. The fault didn't lie with Du-Han. Her strength was inferior to Du-Han, and if it wasn't for him, she wouldn't have been able to reach this step. Before this, when the Holy Maiden acted, Nam Huang Yunqi acted, as well as those who helped her, Qin Wentian or Jun Mengchen acted. She believed that given Du-Han's strength, as long as he was a level higher, he would definitely be able to defeat either Qin Wentian or Jun Mengchen. But evidently she was wrong. Alright, for those who failed, there's no need to be too disappointed. The Nam Huang clan only produces a holy successor once every 100 years. It's very normal for you to fail. You guys just need to work hard in your cultivation. If you can accumulate enough strength, you would still be able to become a peak expert of our Nam Huang clan in the future. The beautiful woman in the air persuaded. You guys can bring the geniuses to my Nam Huang clan for a tour. As for those from the other 9 camps, they can follow the elders to the ancestral lands of the Nam Huang clan. Everyone nodded. For those who failed, it was impossible for them to not be disappointed. They had lost the chance to enter the ancestral lands and would never know the situation inside. As for the victors, they were filled with anticipation. Numerous figures soared up into the air. These were all the elders of the Nam Huang clan who were spectating the battle. The people from the other 9 camps also soared up into the air, landing behind them. Move out. An elder spoke in a low voice. A group of people flew out as the others followed after them. Nam Huang Yunqi's eyes gleamed with intense anticipation. The competition would only get more intense from now on. She wondered if she would be able to seize the position of the holy successor or not. Qin Wentian was at the side. He could sense the anticipation and nervousness in Nam Huang Yunqi's eyes. Chapter 1045. The ancestral lands of the Nam Huang clan seemed to be located in the deepest parts of the Nam Huang clan. The ancestral lands accompanied the Nam Huang clan as they grew up in the immortal realms, existing together with the Nam Huang clan. One could say that it was a supreme treasure of the Nam Huang clan, nurturing generations of holy maidens. Although only one of these holy maidens could become the Southern Phoenix matriarch, the holy maidens of the Nam Huang clan would grow stronger as time passed. They were the core characters of the Nam Huang clan. Qin Wentian and the others soared through the air, and after some time, they arrived at a valley guarded by experts. This place seemed to be a sealed space with a gigantic bronze gate. Upon seeing the arrival of the group, the guards opened the gate and a rumbling sound rang out as an ancient pathway appeared. "Let's enter." The elders of the Namhuang clan who led the group here opened up a path for them. After that, the group of them stepped into the bronze gate. After Qin Wentian entered, he discovered that there was a completely different world within. It was a gigantic mountain valley, and there were a few old women standing guard there. In front of the crowd, a bridge could be seen. This bridge led to an entrance ahead, and it seemed as though one could enter another dimension. Remember, you are not allowed to use immortal weapons in the ancestral lands. If a weapon is used, the owner of the weapon will be instantly killed. You must remember this. Namhuang Yunxi reminded Qin Wentian and the two others. All of us can enter. Why did you only invite me earlier but they all invited 2 or 3? Qin Wentian asked. The quality of the protectors is not the quantity. How many elites are there in the entire southern region? Do you think the holy maidens of my Namhuang clan know all of them? It's already not bad to be able to invite some of them to protect us. As for ordinary geniuses, they are completely useless. What's the point of inviting them? Namhuang Yunxi continued. Also, because for us holy maidens, even the strongest among us would have a cultivation base at the 3rd level of Immortal Foundation. Hence, the ancestral land would suppress one's cultivation base. Those with a cultivation base higher than the 3rd level of Immortal Foundation would only be able to unleash the might of a 3rd level Immortal Foundation expert. Hence, it's not like what you think. Doesn't that mean that we have to invite peak level Immortal Foundation experts? Yes. Qin Wentian nodded his head lightly. The majority of these protectors were at the 2nd level of Immortal Foundation, with a few at the 3rd level. The one with the greatest threat should be one of Nanfeng Shunga's protectors. Namhuang Yunxi intentionally reminded him that this protector's name was Kong Yi, and he was a descendant of an immortal emperor from the southern hell. He had established a king-grade Immortal Foundation, and his combat prowess was extremely terrifying. Let's go. Everyone continued on their way, stepping onto the bridge. At the bottom of the bridge they could see that the ground was actually scorching red, as though there was lava there. It was extremely terrifying and the temperature was extremely high. They walked step by step towards the entrance of the ancestral land. The scorching heat blasted onto them, but although it was blocked by a mysterious barrier of light, Qin Wentian could still sense that this was a world of fire. Bzz numerous figures flickered. There were already people rushing into the ancestral land. Let's go. Namhuang Yunxi spoke. After that, they increased their speed, directly passing through the barrier of light and entering the ancestral land. They stared at the scene before them as their hearts trembled slightly. Parasol trees. Qin Wentian stared at this space. This entire space was filled with blazing parasol trees, intertwining with each other. This was a world of parasol trees and also a world of fire. The entire space was scorching red, incomparably hot. In just an instant, everyone felt as though their bodies were about to be incinerated. The leaves of these gigantic ancient parasol trees drifted down, dancing in the air, creating a wondrous scene that was incomparably beautiful. Each and every leaf was extremely large, resembling the feather of a phoenix. They were so beautiful. Rumble. The bloodline power in Namhuang Yunxi's body surged. Her entire body seemed to be engulfed in flames as the shadow of a phoenix appeared. Not only her, the other 8 holy maidens also did the same as Namhuang Yunxi. They stepped forward, staring at the descending parasol leaves. In their eyes it was as though each and every leaf contained an ancient imprint that could be imprinted into their minds. A beam of light flashed. Namhuang Yunxi stared at that leaf. The mysterious energy contained within it required her to comprehend it. An instant later, Qin Wentian saw that the parasol leaf transformed into a dazzling beam of fiery light, attaching itself onto Namhuang Yunxi. The other parasol leaves continued to dance in the air, as though they would never land on the ground. Namhuang Yunxi's silhouette flashed as she appeared beneath another leaf. Her immortal sense gushed in and was instantly attracted by it. I want the parasol leaves. At this moment, Nanfeng Aoshua spoke. Her protector, Zhong Zhan and another expert instantly moved. wanting to seize the leaves of the parasol tree that were fluttering in the air. Everyone abruptly came to their senses. Their silhouettes flickered as they flew towards the parasol leaves. Qin Wentian also moved. A pair of resplendent wings appeared behind his back as he appeared before a parasol leaf. He stretched his hand out, wanting to use his immortal energy to grab it. However, he discovered that the parasol leaf was glowing with a resplendent light. His immortal energy couldn't envelop the leaf, and he could only stretch his hand out to grab it. It was actually extremely heavy. His silhouette flickered as he moved towards another parasol leaf. When the two leaves neared each other, a terrifying repulsive force erupted forth, pushing Qin Wentian away. Qin Wentian's eyes flashed. A single leaf actually contained such might? It seemed that only the holy maiden of the Namhuang clan would be able to unravel it. He had no choice but to place the parasol leaf beside Namhuang Yunxi. He discovered that when the parasol leaf entered Namhuang Yunxi's body, it wouldn't repel the other leaf she was comprehending. Is this an ability unique to the Namhuang clan's bloodline? Qin Wentian spoke. Mengchen Purgatory, go gather the parasol leaves and place them beside Namhuang Yunxi. Let her slowly comprehend them. Right? The three of them acted at the same time, moving as fast as lightning. Numerous tree leaves appeared unceasingly in the area enveloped by Nanfeng Yunxi's immortal light. Her beautiful eyes stared at the tree leaves, and it seemed that she could only comprehend one at a time. After comprehending it, the tree leaf would float down and land on her, resembling a phoenix feather, enveloping her body. Everyone in this space acted, and their speed was incomparably fast. In just a short period of time, many parasol leaves appeared before the eyes of the 9 holy maidens. Their comprehension speed seemed to have slowed down. All of them were fully immersed in their comprehensions, and everything in the external world could only be left to their protectors. As the protectors frenziedly plundered the leaves, the number of parasol leaves in the air grew fewer and fewer. If this continued on, there wouldn't be any left very soon. At this moment, Purgatory and one of the protectors of Nanfengling were both fighting for a parasol leaf. Purgatory grabbed it with her hand only to see her protector stabbing out with a finger. As that finger landed, the entire space transformed into a river of blood as a terrifying immortal might directly blast it into Purgatory's palm. Purgatory screamed in shock as blood flowed from her palm. She could only let go of the parasol leaf. Her protector stabbed out with another finger attack, forcing Purgatory to retreat. That protector snatched the parasol leaf away. Purgatory's expression turned cold as she glanced at that protector. She glanced at the surroundings and discovered that the best parasol leaf was already taken away. We need 81 parasol leaves. At this moment, Nanfeng Shunga spoke, causing the expressions of everyone to flicker. Qin Wentian glanced at Nanfeng Yunxi, as well as the parasol leaves in front of her. She was still lacking a little. As for the others, they were lacking a little as well. He discovered that the number of parasol leaves fluttering in the air was simply insufficient if each person needed 81. Unless they snatched it. But if they snatched it, there would definitely be people who didn't have enough. At this moment, everyone turned their gazes to the surroundings, their gazes filled with hostility. Clearly, they all knew that they needed to snatch the parasol leaves from each other. The problem was, who should they snatch it from? Everyone harbored evil intentions. Seems like it's better to have more people. Namhuang Yunxi doesn't even know the exact situation in the ancestral lands? Qin Wentian silently mused. There were 3 of them, and the number of parasol leaves they collected could be considered to be the highest. You guys guard Nanfeng Aoshua. Zhongzhan spoke to the other 2 protectors. His entire body was clad in golden armor, exuding an unexcelled aura. Busy. Zhongzhan was like a bolt of lightning, rushing towards Nanfeng Qing's protector, preparing to snatch the parasol leaf. Nanfeng Qing's protector instantly acted, clashing against Zhongzhan. At this moment, Nanfeng Yi's protector also acted, rushing towards Nanfeng Qing's side. Evidently, he wanted to be the fisherman who could reap the benefits of the fisherman. Numerous figures flickered, instantly causing chaos to descend. Mengchen, you guard Namhuang Yunxi. Purgatory, come with me. Qin Wentian spoke. He stepped out, directly moving towards Nanfengling. Before this, Nanfengling's protector snatched a parasol leaf from Purgatory's hands. At this moment outside the ancestral lands, those elders stood there staring ahead. Someone asked, "Who will become the holy successor this time around?" "I hope it will be Shunga. That lass's talent is good and she's very intelligent. Qingrua isn't bad as well. Her protector is a young lad from the Jiang clan. If she can recruit someone from the Jiang clan as a son-in-law, things would be interesting." Someone laughed. "Yunqi might be young but her potential is extremely high. The immortal foundation she established is of the highest quality. Don't forget about her. Look, the ancestral lands have opened. The parasol characters are floating in the air. These parasol leaves are the wings the phoenix ancestor bestowed to them. I wonder how many of them will be able to obtain them." These people discussed, all of them filled with anticipation. Chapter 1046. There were two protectors of the southern phoenix spirit. One was Ko Dao, the other was Tyrant Jiang. Both of them were at the second level of Immortal Foundation and had extremely powerful combat prowess. Ko Dao was none other than the person who acted against Purgatory earlier. Upon seeing Qin Wentian and Purgatory rushing over, their eyes flashed with coldness. Ko Dao's skin was blood red, giving off a terrifying feeling. As for Tyrant Jiang, his body was burly and tyrannical, resembling a black pagoda. He was an extremely tyrannical character. "You dare to kill your way here?" Ko Dao coldly spoke. His entire body shone with a towering blood-colored light, as the might of his immortal foundation gushed forth. This entire space seemed to have transformed into a sea of blood, as the shadow of a terrifying blood demon manifested. Tyrant Jiang stepped out, causing the air to tremble. An ancient cauldron appeared, floating in the air, exuding boundless tyrannical might. "He attacked you earlier. Purgatory, you deal with him." Qin Wentian pointed to Ko Dao as he spoke to Purgatory. "Right?" Purgatory nodded, her eyes gleaming with coldness. After that, the two of them rushed towards their respective opponents as their auras gushed forth. Qin Wentian's entire body shone with resplendent runic light. His saint-grade immortal foundation granted him a perfect immortal physique, unparalleled in terms of physique. Qin Wentian's fleshly body was akin to an immortal ranked weapon. For immortal foundation experts, it was extremely rare for them to have such a perfect and flawless physique like Qin Wentian. Tyrant Jiang's body grew larger, resembling a gigantic god of spirits. Many runes flashed within the ancient cauldron as law energy gushed forth. Tyrant Jiang punched out as the runes from the ancient cauldron blasted towards Qin Wentian, causing the entire space to tremble. Qin Wentian blasted out with his fist. He was like a primordial ferocious beast, yet also like a supreme war god. His pitch-black fist smashed through the void, directly shattering the runes of the ancient cauldron. His fist could shatter the heavens and earth. No one could block it. Tyrant Jiang's expression flickered. He was extremely powerful. His fleshly body was terrifying and his attacks were powerful. Ordinary second-level Immortal Foundation experts wouldn't even be able to block his attacks. His innate techniques were also extremely tyrannical. However, Qin Wentian's Immortal Foundation enveloped his body and didn't use any innate techniques. Qin Wentian merely used his fleshly body to attack him. Boom! Only to see Qin Wentian stepping out. Tyrant Jiang only felt his Immortal Foundation rumbling as the flow of his immortal energy became sluggish, as though it was being suppressed by a powerful obstruction. His countenance kept changing as his Immortal Foundation appeared. A moment later, the shadow of a gigantic ancient cauldron fused with him, causing him to exude an even stronger aura. Qin Wentian took another step forward as the rumbling sounds from the ancient cauldron grew even more intense. The runes floating within seemed to be on the verge of shattering, causing Tyrant Jiang to turn ashen as he stared at Qin Wentian. His king-grade Immortal Foundation was incomparably sturdy, and his immortal energy was tyrannical. However, the might radiating from Qin Wentian actually suppressed his Immortal Foundation. "You are no match for me. Get out of my way." Qin Wentian took another step forward. With a thunderous boom, a terrifying destructive might bore down on his Immortal Foundation. The ancient runes crumbled unceasingly, but before they could bloom, they were already destroyed. Tyrant Jiang's heart trembled as he stared fixedly at Qin Wentian. How could the Immortal Foundation of this young man be so powerful? When he established his immortal foundation, he transformed the law energy of his immortal foundation into a cauldron. His immortal foundation was like a cauldron, immensely powerful and indomitable. In that case, Qin Wentian should have at least established a 5th-tier king-grade immortal foundation, or even a saint-grade immortal foundation. However, in the immortal realms, was there really a first-level immortal foundation cultivator who could establish a saint-grade immortal foundation? This was completely illogical. It was something impossible. Southern Phoenix Ling invited me to protect her in battle. I can only be defeated, I cannot retreat. Tyrant Zhang coldly spoke, his voice booming like a bell. Even though he knew he would lose, he still wanted to fight. Fine, she will understand that you have already done your best. Qin Wentian spoke. The might of his immortal foundation gushed forth as he blasted out a gigantic palm imprint, capable of suppressing immortals and devils. Tyrant Zhang roared in rage as numerous gigantic ancient cauldrons flew out, transforming into towering ancient runes. However, when the palm imprint landed, all of them were destroyed. Qin Wentian's palms blasted out explosively, causing the entire space to tremble. Very soon Tyrant Zhang couldn't endure it any longer and was flung through the air, suffering heavy injuries. Qin Wentian didn't show mercy. This was a sign of respect to Tyrant Zhang. He glanced at the battlefield beside him. Purgatory was currently fighting against her opponent. He walked towards Nam Huang Yunqi and grabbed out with his hand, instantly grabbing a leaf. When he turned his head, he saw that there was someone who acted against Jun Mengchen earlier, wanting to plunder the parasol leaf beside Nam Huang Yunqi. The person who acted was none other than Nanfeng Qing's protector, Nanfeng Aoxue and Nanfeng Yi. They suffered heavy losses and had no way to resist, hence they could only plunder the parasol leaf from Nam Huang Yunqi. However, Jun Mengchen's strength was extremely tyrannical. He transformed into an emperor and every punch he punched out was like the king of chaos. His aura of an emperor engulfed the heavens and earth as he fought against his two opponents. Qin Wentian lifted his palm and slammed it towards Ko Dao. At the same time he rushed out, grabbing a parasol leaf and returned to Nam Huang Yunqi's side. That attack directly shattered Ko Dao's defense, and in addition to Purgatory's attack, Ko Dao was struck by Purgatory flames as he was flung through the air. Qin Wentian returned. Nanfeng Qing's protector saw that the situation was far from good and wanted to flee. However, they only saw Qin Wentian directly intercepting them. His immortal foundation might gushed forth as he roared in rage. Instantly a gigantic great rock manifested, sweeping through the air. A piercing sound rang out as one of his protectors was directly slashed apart, causing his countenance to turn pale. "You guys are eliminated," Qin Wentian coldly spoke. Demonic qi gushed forth from him as he unleashed his innate techniques. Numerous great rocks swept through the air while Jun Mengchen was still attacking. In the blink of an eye, two of his protectors were heavily injured. Qin Wentian placed the parasol leaf on Nam Huang Yunqi's body. His silhouette flashed as he moved towards Jun Mengchen. He directly plucked a parasol leaf and shot it towards Nanfeng Qing. Jun Mengchen cooperated and caught it. At the same time, Purgatory also succeeded and was currently plundering the parasol leaf from Nanfeng Ling. When the others saw Nanfeng Qing and Nanfeng Ling's protectors losing their combat prowess, they also came over, plucking parasol leaves from the two holy maidens. Not too long after, the number of leaves around Nanfeng Yunqi had already exceeded 81. Brilliant light circulated around her as the leaves enveloped her, transforming into phoenix feathers that shone even more resplendently than before. However, at this moment, Nanfeng Qing's eyes abruptly opened. When she saw that the parasol leaves around her were almost completely plucked clean, her countenance grew incredibly ugly to behold. "Purgatory, go back," Qin Wentian spoke. He and Purgatory both returned to the side of Nam Huang Yunqi. Right now, there were over 90 parasol leaves around Nam Huang Yunqi. She only needed to slowly comprehend them. Nanfeng Ling brought her protectors, Ko Dao and Tyrant Zhang, over to Qin Wentian's side. Terrifying flames radiated from her, scorching the air as her countenance grew incredibly ugly. Since the parasol leaves are already by Yunqi's side, it's best for Holy Maiden Ling to stop snatching them. Qin Wentian spoke. "As long as I injure the two of you, wouldn't the parasol leaves around Yunqi be mine?" Nanfeng Ling spoke. There should still be enough time now, right? Holy Maidenling, is there a need for this? Before this, your two protectors were already defeated and injured. Now that it's 3 against 3, you guys basically have no chance of victory. Why don't you find other opponents? Qin Wentian persuaded. Bzz. A terrifying aura gushed forth from Nanfeng Ling. Her entire body was bathed in phoenix flames, and the shadow of a phoenix could be seen on her back. She was extremely beautiful, but her expression was extremely cold. She stared at Qin Wentian and the others. Leave this person to me. The two of you just need to help deal with the other two protectors. Right? Tyrant Zhang and Ko Dao nodded. It was true that Qin Wentian and the others weren't able to deal with him. They had no idea if Nanfeng Ling could defeat him or not. At this moment, Nam Huang Yunqi's body glowed with a bright light, as she comprehended another parasol leaf. The leaves transformed into feathers that covered her body. As the number of feathers increased, one could faintly see the outline of a phoenix's wings. This caused Nanfeng Ling's eyes to turn even colder. Nam Huang Yunqi woke up at this moment. She glanced to the side only to hear Qin Wentian speaking with his back facing her. Focus on comprehending. Leave this place to us. Nam Huang Yunqi nodded. After that, she turned her gaze to another parasol leaf as her immortal sense seeped into it. She then closed her eyes. Let's end this quickly. Nanfeng Ling coldly spoke. She couldn't afford to wait any longer. If all these parasol leaves were comprehended by Nam Huang Yunqi, it would be useless for her to snatch them. As the sound of her voice faded, Qin Wentian only saw an incomparably terrifying phoenix shadow grabbing at him. Its sharp claws contained a fearsome lacerating might. Qin Wentian's expression was calm. He lifted his hand and blasted out with a palm strike, shattering that terrifying might. The spirit of the southern phoenix descended. The phoenix phantom behind her flapped its wings, and in an instant, a projection of an ancient phoenix manifested in the air. Flames of destruction erupted forth, enveloping Qin Wentian within. Qin Wentian's perfect body shone with resplendent runes as the might of his immortal foundation gushed forth. With the shadow of the divine turtle enveloping him, the phoenix flames couldn't burn him. Nanfeng Ling stretched her hand out as a terrifying phoenix spear formed from phoenix flames appeared in the air. Resplendent flames coiled around the spear as a fearsome destructive might gushed forth from it. Immortal light radiated from the spear as law energy gushed forth, wanting to destroy everything. Qin Wentian waved his hand as an ancient halberd appeared in the air. This halberd was formed from the energy of his immortal foundation and gleamed with a black luster, exuding a fearsome destructive might. Bzz. Nanfeng Ling acted. This attack of hers seemed to be able to penetrate through space as a fiery red mark appeared, exuding a destructive might that could penetrate through everything. Qin Wentian's ancient halberd slashed out at the same time, causing the heavens and earth to tremble. With a thunderous boom, the two forces collided together as the destructive might ravaged the surroundings. Bang! The spear shattered as terrifying flames incinerated this entire space. Qin Wentian's ancient halberd continued piercing forward. Nanfeng Ling's silhouette flickered as she instantly retreated far away, her cold eyes staring fixedly at Qin Wentian. I've already said that there's no need to fight. Holy Maiden Nanfeng Ling won't be able to seize the parasol leaves from Nam Huang Yunqi. Qin Wentian domineeringly spoke. Jun Mengchen and Purgatory both held the advantage in their battle. This was especially so for Jun Mengchen. He had already injured the tyrannical Tyrant River. This battle caused the spectators to be disappointed. The protector chosen by Nam Huang Yunqi was extremely powerful, and wasn't easy to deal with. Let's go. The Nanfeng Ling gave up on Qin Wentian's side. Nam Huang Yunqi didn't have anyone to disturb her, and continued to comprehend the parasol leaves. As the parasol leaves enveloped her body, Qin Wentian discovered that a pair of resplendent fiery phoenix wings gradually appeared behind her back, slowly fusing into Nam Huang Yunqi's body, becoming a part of her. Chapter 1047. Qin Wentian stared at the other holy maidens. Out of the 9 holy maidens, only 6 of them had managed to comprehend all 81 parasol leaves. These 6 holy maidens were Nanfeng Qingrua, Nanfeng Shanga, Nanfeng Aoshua, Nanfeng Shihua, Nanfeng Yi, and Nam Huang Yunqi. The protectors of the 6 holy maidens were also the 6 strongest groups. Only then would they be able to comprehend in peace and not be disturbed by others. Right now, they could only rely on their own comprehension abilities. Qin Wentian could see that the ones with the highest comprehension abilities were Namhuang Yunqi, Nanfeng Shangge, Nanfeng Qingrua and Nanfeng Aoxue. Nanfeng Xihua and Nanfeng Yi were ranked second. From Qin Wentian's perspective, the one with the highest chance of becoming the holy successor would definitely be one of the top 4. They were also the 4 most popular among the holy maidens of the Namhuang clan. Not only were they extremely powerful, their protectors were also extremely powerful. Naturally, Nanfeng Xihua and Nanfeng Yi weren't inferior as well, it was just that they were relatively stronger. Namhuang Yunqi and Nanfeng Shangge both comprehended all 81 parasol leaves at the same time. A terrifying aura gushed forth from the 2 of them as a raging wind gusted by. A pair of resplendent phoenix wings appeared behind their backs, completely fusing into their bodies. That terrifying pair of wings seemed to circulate with mystical runic light. The flowing light contained the sharpness of swords and sabers, as well as a terrifying scorching heat, giving off an intense sense of power and beauty. How beautiful! If I didn't know that they are humans, I would have thought that their true form is that of a saint beast, a phoenix. Jun Mingchen mumbled. Namhuang Yunqi's wings were so natural, as though they belonged to her. Not only was there no disharmony, they were extremely beautiful instead. This kind of beauty was half holy, half seductive. There was an indescribable sense of beauty. Namhuang Yunqi opened her eyes as her wings fluttered, as though she was very familiar with this feeling. Her wings landed on Qin Wentian as a gentle smile appeared on Qin Wentian's face. These phoenix wings were able to increase her strength. As expected of the ancestral ground of the Namhuang clan, it was truly a wondrous place. With a flap of her wings, numerous parasol leaves flew out, flying into the distance. The other 3 holy maidens didn't have any joy on their faces when they saw this scene. Nanfeng Yunqi and the other 2 holy maidens had already comprehended more than half of the parasol leaves, and transformed them into phoenix wings. Even if they comprehended all the remaining leaves, it wouldn't be enough. They had no fate with these phoenix wings. Come up to my wings. Namhuang Yunqi spoke, her words causing Qin Wentian to stiffen. However, he only heard Namhuang Yunqi continuing, we want to enter the first level of the ancestral ground. Only those with phoenix wings would be able to enter. After you guys come up, hold on to my wings tightly and don't let go. I will bring you guys in. As the sound of her voice faded, Nanfeng Yunqi floated up into the air. Qin Wentian nodded his head. He didn't argue any further. The 3 of them directly flew to the back of Nanfeng Yunqi's beautiful phoenix wings, grabbing onto the feathers tightly, not letting go. The same scene happened over at Nanfeng Shangge's side as well. After that, Nanfeng Qingrua and Nanfeng Aoxue respectively comprehended phoenix wings. Bzz, a raging wind gusted as Namhuang Yunqi soared forward, resembling a fiery red bolt of lightning. Nanfeng Yunqi's eyes were beautiful to the extreme, as though there were flames burning within them. She stared at the illusory gate in front of her that transformed into the diagram of a phoenix. Her phoenix wings flapped madly as she flew towards it. Rumble! A terrifying energy blasted into Qin Wentian and the others. After that, they discovered that they had indeed arrived at the next level. Glancing behind them, they saw Nanfeng Ling and the other 2 holy maidens trying to ram their way through the spatial barrier. However, they were unable to do so at all. This was proof of Namhuang Yunqi's words. After that, another figure appeared. It was Nanfeng Shangge. She exchanged glances with Namhuang Yunqi, while her protectors coldly glanced at Qin Wentian and the others. This was especially so for Kong Yi. His gaze was extremely sharp, and the might of a 3rd-level Immortal Foundation expert was extremely powerful. What's on those leaves? Qin Wentian stared ahead. This space was still as beautiful as ever. The ancient parasol trees' roots intertwined with each other, and the ground was littered with fallen leaves. Each and every leaf seemed to be imprinted with the glow of fire. Namhuang Yunqi stared at the leaves fluttering in the air. Qin Wentian and the others couldn't see it, but Namhuang Yunqi could. This was the ancestral ground of the Namhuang clan. Life from death. Nanfeng Yunqi mumbled in a low voice. Her gaze stared ahead and over there. There was a gigantic ancient parasol tree. In the middle of the towering ancient tree, there was a terrifying vortex that seemed to be a path of nirvanic rebirth. A terrifying aura gushed forth from it. From there we can enter the next space. But on the path of nirvana, we have to seek life from death. Nam Huang Yunqi pointed in a direction as she spoke. Her silhouette floated forward as Qin Wentian and the other two followed closely behind. At this moment, Nanfeng Qingrua also entered this space. Only the 3 holy maidens can enter. Nam Huang Yunqi spoke. Qin Wentian's heart trembled when he heard this. It felt like everything was already destined. In the first space there were 3 people who didn't manage to forge their phoenix wings. And now only 3 of them could enter. Until the last person became the holy successor, they would continue to temper themselves. Very swiftly, Qin Wentian and the others arrived at the terrifying path of nirvana. An incomparably scorching aura gushed forth, causing Qin Wentian to feel terror. But even so, Qin Wentian saw Nam Huang Yunqi and Nanfeng Shunga entering the path of nirvana with no hesitation. Their bodies were instantly engulfed in flames, but their footsteps were resolute as they continued forward. Kongyi, help me guard the path of nirvana. Nanfeng Shunga's voice rang out. Kongyi nodded lightly. At this moment, Nanfeng Qingrua and the others walked over. She glanced at Qin Wentian, Kongyi and the others as she spoke. The path of nirvana can allow 3 people to walk side by side. Including me, there are 3 of us. Kongyi and Qin Wentian exchanged glances before stepping aside. Nanfeng Qingrua stepped into the path of nirvana. Her protector, Zhang Ziyu, also walked over, guarding the path of nirvana. They didn't speak to each other, they only stared ahead. Nanfeng Aoshue arrived, and when she saw the 3 of them entering the path of nirvana, her countenance turned extremely unsightly to behold. She had used too much time in the first space and missed the opportunity. However, she, Nanfeng Aoshue, was the strongest among the holy maidens of the Nam Huang clan. How could she not have a spot? Step aside. Nanfeng Aoshue's protector, the golden condor Zhongzhan, stepped out as he spoke in a domineering tone. Kongyi radiated a dazzling light as his 3rd-level immortal foundation aura circulated around him. How could he step aside? Although Zhang Ziyu was only at the 2nd level of immortal foundation, he was a disciple of the ancient Zhang clan and was extremely mysterious and powerful. Just a single glance from him would cause one to feel the sharpness of his aura. In addition, there was also a powerful protector at the 3rd level of immortal foundation beside him. One couldn't help but say that Nanfeng Qingrua's charm was extremely great. Both of her protectors were extremely powerful. Even Nanfeng Aoshue couldn't help but to frown when she saw this. Eventually, her gaze landed on Qin Wentian's group. There are 3 paths of nirvana and only 3 people can pass through it. Right now, the 3 of them have each occupied one of the paths. The others couldn't see it clearly, but Nanfeng Aoshue could. The 3 paths of nirvana in the vortex didn't interfere with each other, but there were only 3 of them. Right now, the 3 of them have already been engulfed by the blazing flames and entered the depths of the nirvana path. The path you guys are on, step aside. Zhongzhan instantly understood Nanfeng Aoshue's meaning. There was no need to offend all 3 paths of nirvana. They only needed to seize one of them. The 3 camps before them were all extremely powerful, but the weakest one was clearly the camp of Qin Wentian and the other 2 first-level Immortal Foundation experts. Although Qin Wentian and the other 2 had proven their combat prowess before, to the others, Qin Wentian and the others, their cultivation bases were still a little weaker compared to the people here. Zhongzhan, the descendant of a demon emperor, Nanfeng Aoshue, the strongest among the holy maidens of this generation of the Nam Huang clan, with a cultivation base at the 3rd level of Immortal Foundation. Just the 2 of them alone were sufficient to suppress Qin Wentian's group. Bullying us? Jun Mengchen's eyes flashed with coldness, feeling somewhat unhappy. How infuriating, their cultivation bases were just a little lower. Did they think they were easy to bully? There were 3 paths of nirvana and they wanted to seize their path? There's no more time. Nanfeng Aoshue's aura instantly erupted forth. The might of a 3rd-level Immortal Foundation expert was extremely tyrannical, capable of suppressing everything. Her entire body was bathed in fiery light as her Phoenix Immortal Foundation manifested. She was also a King-grade Immortal Foundation expert, and in addition to her cultivation base, the halo of light around her was incomparably resplendent. Boom boom boom. Qin Wentian, Jun Mengchen and Purgatory's auras instantly erupted forth. Other than Nanfeng Aoshue and Zhong Zhan, there were still two others. One of them was Rong Xiao, who was defeated by Qin Wentian, and the other was a second-level Immortal Foundation expert. They absolutely couldn't allow Nanfeng Aoshue to step onto the path of nirvana. Right now it was unknown what Nam Huang Yunqi was experiencing right now. Most probably, she had already temporarily lost her combat prowess. Zhong Zhan domineeringly stepped out, blasting out with a single strike. A moment later, the golden condor swooped over, containing a terrifying attack power. Mengchen, you go. Qin Wentian spoke. Jun Mengchen stepped out, carrying an entire world on his back. He punched out, causing chaos in the sky and earth, shattering everything. Nanfeng Aoshue stabbed out with a finger strike towards Qin Wentian. Her attack was akin to a phoenix sword, containing a fearsome penetrative might. Qin Wentian released the might of his perfect saint-grade immortal foundation. His body circulated with a dazzling light as the shadow of the divine turtle shone, enveloping him. Immortal energy coalesced into an ancient halberd as he slashed out with the speed of lightning, shattering Nanfeng Aoshue's attack. Rong Xiao and the other expert rushed out. Purgatory reverted back to her original form, guarding the entrance. The two of them rushed towards Nanfeng Aoshue at the same time. Scram! After Qin Wentian destroyed Nanfeng Aoshue's attack, the ancient halberd in his hand shot out explosively, flying straight towards Rong Xiao. That ancient halberd contained a heaven-shaking destructive might as it slashed through the air. Rong Xiao's countenance drastically changed as he frantically tried to defend. However, a thunderous boom rang out as the ancient halberd slashed towards him. Rong Xiao frantically retreated, transforming into a phantom. Puchi! A wound appeared on Rong Xiao's body as he retreated far away. The destructive might ravaged his body, causing his countenance to turn pale. What was even more unbearable was the humiliation of being defeated. He actually couldn't even withstand a single strike. How dare you? Nanfeng Aoshue's face turned frosty when she saw Qin Wentian splitting his attention to injure Rong Xiao. Her killing intent was extremely terrifying.